Absolutely, man. I mean, it's 2 o'clock now. I hope everyone had a fantastic one. Man, just keep on keeping on. I forget who said that.
Joe Dirt, my boy. You got to keep on keeping on.
Yeah, so just keep on keeping on. It's only a couple of days until Monday, and the market will be open once again. So, yeah, let's rock and roll.
I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend, my man.
Let's go.
Sending you to the Katina man that way.
Joe Dirt is right.
Hey, everybody, great midday show there. Thanks, Joe and Sharif. And we come into a market that's like almost up 2% here on the NASDAQ. We did also have the ES right now pulling back a little bit. I'm actually long right now into Tesla, as you can see at the bottom. So we'll talk about that as we get going. But as many of you know today, let's redo that again here. As many of you know, an exciting opportunity to trade are IPOs. And there's no more, as a prop trader, of an opportunity that we're looking for than excitement with an IPO. So let's go over to the big screen and find out exactly how you can profit trading an IPO.
It's all about excitement and momentum and FOMO. But remember, if you get the IPO issue price, you're likely to be right in the money. And buying an IPO early usually isn't the best investment because sometimes they head right back down. So how do you take advantage of it? Well, we'll tell you how. By understanding what you need to be focused on and what makes a good one to trade, when you need to get out, and how nasty it can be because of lack of liquidity. A lot of IPOs do not have a lot of shares that come to market. So immediately, there will be liquidity constraints. One tool that we use is going to be the imbalance locator, which will show you before it opens up in the middle of the day what the interest is. Now, XE, which came out today, you're going to see at the time it opened, there was about 6 million shares paired off and a slight buy imbalance. So it was a buy imbalance. There was 6 million shares that were going to take the opening print, and we get the actual indicated auction price was over 30 bucks. Issue was at 23. So in this particular case, you have something that was a little oversubscribed that kept raising the price, and it's going to open up already in the money. So there is some hype off of the open. But there's one thing to remember. We talked about liquidity. If this is a momentum trade, you've got to respect it. And in this particular case, you might have had a good opening rush. It opens, it ends up holding 30 even. There's a strong initial push, trend reverses. There's a secondary push into the top. It holds the low of the open price. And there's a final break. Now, when these turn, you need to understand there's a lot of people looking to use the exit at the same time. Would be great if you can get out on trend. But regardless of whether you have 5% or 10% left, the slippage, when it breaks that even dollar, where there's going to be a lot of stops placed, because there was a refresher buyer there before, is pretty nasty. But 50 pennies in this particular case. So if you're going to hold it back through, you got to make sure that you're getting enough out that if it does that little bit of a rinse, you don't give up all of your gains. The key is liquidity is a concern. You want to get out on the way up if you can, because once it starts to retrace, the floodgates can open up.
Look, and why is this so important to understand how to trade IPOs? Simple. It's an emotional atmosphere. You're waiting for it to open up. Your hands are sweaty. You're sitting there waiting for that trade. So what do you have to do? You have to game plan. You have to understand the timing of an IPO, when they're coming out, what to look for, how to use that balance locator, order types. I think this is very important. You have to have a game plan, and you have to be ready. So let's go find out what the game plan was here with this IPO.
Well, it's like you said, the game plan and the open order. You can take it if you want, but the other thing to remember is you've got all of those big banks, and they don't want to get embarrassed on day one. There are two places that often get defended. One of them is the open price. It could just be the even dollar in front, and the second one is going to be the issue price. In this case, the issue price is nowhere close. Right away, you're going to be able to see there was a floor at $30 even. It opened at $30.11, as we showed you over there. There was a refresher buyer off of that 30 level. So whether you're someone that takes the open price or just try to play off the momentum, you're essentially just parking yourself in front of that buyer. Now, I'm not saying that that's one of the banks that's sitting on the bid, but we've seen that be the case. Sometimes it's just generic support at the even dollar level. But oftentimes that is what you are playing in front of. And understand, as I said before, if that's the liquidity that you're playing off of, it is nasty when it gets there. Smart money is exiting on the way up, understanding that when that shelf goes, It's the only thing between it and a little bit of a dump fest. So understand that it's all about momentum. Oftentimes, a lot of traders can't short it, so you're only looking to go into the long trade, and it's tricky. You want to time it, make sure it's one that has enough interest and enough excitement that you like the open, and then remember, slippage is a big deal. So if you're going to hold back through to where that support is, you can't get left with the whole bag. Because in a normal trade, whatever you think you're going to get past your stop zone, on an IPO, I promise you it's going to be more. So preserve that capital, make sure you exit some on a bulk on the way up so that you can take advantage of that momentum.
Look, lesson here is very, very simple. Game plan your trade on an IPO, and not only can it make your day, it can make your week, and if you're lucky enough, it can even make your month. All right, yeah, so today was, for me, almost the exact same chart as Neil's there on that XE IPO. So just to talk about that real quickly, to go specific on this one. Today we had small modular reactor name, right, XE. We've seen SMR, we've seen Oklo. Oklo's off a 15% day. SMR there yesterday and today, some movers. So we know that this space is at least some interest here, right? So as we continue to look at this stock, I didn't actually take the opening print. I wanted to see how it reacted. I didn't want to see a flush right through. So it comes out at $30.11. We take a couple shares right here, right off the open as it holds in around 30.30 club, and then all the way back down in. Then we get 30.25. We get a little bit out. We actually were able to get the majority of it out as we started to go higher, and noticing that we got out at 30.80s, kind of where those tops were. Then it busted through 31, and we thought, okay, here we go. Not only have we held the $30 level, we've got a couple wicks down here where we clearly saw buyers. It popped up about $1 and change, and then there's that slippage that Neil's talking about. All of a sudden, we get that top fill. Don't even really know how we got that, to be honest with you. We're just put out orders. I waited at 31.25, trying to wait at the quarters. That's a 31 fill. That's 31.25. Then boom, jaga laga laga, like an NBA jam. But we're not heating up. We're going the opposite way. And there it goes, breaking back down. And we basically have the exact same trades. We get stopped out as soon as it breaks 30. It looks like you get about 50 cents or so of slippage. Boom to the downside. And then you can see it hasn't really recovered from that marker there yet. So, for me, this was a pretty simple structure trade. And, we really do mean that. Like, if you can have a big trade, like when you get Anthropic coming through or SpaceX or something like that with maybe a little more oomph to it, hopefully this continuation will happen. And, you got to be ready for slippage. Net will be flat on the stock, actually, on the day due to some of that. So, we take 40, 50 cents, $1 and a bit, lose 50 cents on a little bit more than half, and that's your trade on XE today. I mean, you can get rich off these things, but today it just didn't profile out for me.
I'm so not used to Randy. You're still here?
Randy, has a problem with your car or something? What?
Everything good?
Who's going to take your car?
Yeah, I know you're going to try to take my
You're
car.
You're going out in the city tonight, aren't you? That's why you're
He must be. There has to be something going on.
Yeah, you got something.
Randy. Hot date, the wife coming
Friday,
down.
weather's getting better.
The weather's
probably gonna
not, the weather's not that good outside. It's now it's not very good.
Well, tomorrow, but it's not raining today. Oh, seriously? Yeah. It wasn't early.
Yeah, this is South Carolina have everybody.
Boo.
What's your NVDA?
Now it's your NVDA? I thought you were I thought you were XOM and Rivian Randy. No, you're
Volkswagen and NVIDIA.
Okay.
What I'm
XOM, Volkswagen.
One more week.
Well, this is what NVIDIA is doing.
One more week. Ooh.
5% today. That's quite the pop. But look at the daily.
Randy is rich.
We're almost there. Living on a prayer.
I'm only taking Randy's picks next time, man. I only got Marvell going.
What up
there? But
Randy.
Yeah, shout out to Randy.
That's a great shot. Why don't we ever use that shot when Randy's here?
What shot was it?
No, look right now. Look.
Oh yeah, it's a great one.
And Randy only comes every day. And
There's
we're
Randy. Hey, what's up,
Great
Randy?
look.
I love that how we have the board at the back. Yeah, surrounded by the quotes.
All kinds of stuff.
He's wrapped up into there. But yeah, welcome everybody. Friday afternoon, so we're gonna have some fun here.
Yes.
Today I got my Tim's, no roll up the rim over here. Yeah, where is your Tim's anyways? We had this.
There's a
Yeah. Oh, I went for way earlier. This
Fired,
coffee
though.
this
Can't use
coffee
them
is
anymore,
done.
I think.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks, Randy. Be safe. Have a great weekend if we don't see you. And let's put this back in my ear now. All right. I mean, we can look. We'll do a broader look at the markets in a couple seconds here. But USO today, down. So that's nice, man. Maybe we'll save a little bit at the pumps right here. I'm not sure what's going on right here. That was a nice little dump off there midday on USO. There was some talk there about a convoy going back in with Pakistan to sort of resolve some of this ceasefire and extend it, and or some sort of an agreement being made. So USO goes to the downside on some nice volume spikes there. You're now right at the 200 period. The only thing about USO, and I mean, this is the way I'm trying to trade it. I'm not really trying to look at this thing as a technical play at all. I mean, it's very, very news-based. So if you wanted to short it, I think you're using technicals, that's fine, like a VWAP or the 200 period moving average. Just respect those, because next thing you know, it could blast one way or the other, and just get out with your timing. I mean, I think we just did a thing there on the IPOs. If you don't have that stop order in, then forget about losing or making your day or your month or your week, or you could lose that much. And you just want to make sure with oil you do have some of those stops. And look, sometimes you'll get a bad price because the action is so fast, but it's better than being caught. And just get out and then regroup, right? There's always another trade, but that's what USO is doing right now, down 2.5%, with the NASDAQ up another record all-time high here for the NASDAQ.
Well, you could insert a lot of things you want to talk about all-time highs today. Like, who are we giving it to? Broadcom. You already said the NASDAQ.
Oh, here, I have my here.
Marvell. Do you have one that just says all-time highs, or 52, maybe 52?
Yeah, I have all of that.
It's insane.
Here's our trade rate right here. So these are all 52-week highs. Intel, SPY, AMD, Amazon, the Qs, Micron. Who thought Micron was back? The SOXL, of course. Taiwan Semi, now $390. Okay, all the inverted are all lowest. What's CHN? Whatever that is, that's downside there as well. There's XLK even. That's again the technology ETF, right? Making all-time highs. An interesting name was IBM. IBM got hit on earnings last week, right? Down to 230. So this is just
software names got moked.
Here. New yearly highs. There's actually a scanner right here on eSignal that will give us new yearly highs.
Is that MXL?
Yeah, MXL is on there, of course. Yeah, ARM is another name that we're seeing right now at all-time high. I mean, there's going to be so many there. We already talked about TSM, obviously SMH, and that's where it ends. A lot of these are kind of, lower names there on that one. But yeah, that's what it is. So new yearly highs, man. You can see names above VWAP. I like the trade rate feature here, so that gives you names that have been going off on their scanners today. AMD, SPY. I mean, Amazon is such a nice story, man. Oh, Schlumberger. There we go. We get another oil name right there coming through as well. So yeah, man, lots of stuff going on here today. Welcome to the afternoon show. We'll have a lot of fun. We'll talk to you guys in the chat. Put your trade ideas in there. MXL, you mentioned that. That was a halter a couple times here early. I don't know if it's halted since. Right now, we have any names on halt. That's CHSN. That was one. CHSN. Oh, Chanson International. Is it a Chinese name?
Obviously.
All right, so that's halted about every single minute in the 12. Oh.
What the heck is this?
I don't know what the heck this is, but this halted over and over and over again. Got up to $3. Now it's down to 20 cents. Come on, man. Why weren't we short up here? What were we doing? All the way back in, now down to 20 cents. So, hey, if you're a little bored, maybe you take this one long right here. You got some nice little bottom pick here, and we'll find out the news on CHSN. But 62 million shares with a bottom take right now of 15 cents.
That's insane.
Something to look at.
It's that one wick that you're like, well, if you happen to be looking at it, it looks like it goes right to $3 and then slams back through and halts at $2 after being previously a penny stock earlier. Yeah, that just screams of anybody that could have shorted that candle. That's insane. The only trade I'm in is BMNR, so I'm just going to show you the why. I like all-day trends. In this particular case, I'll go with markets at the highs, Bitcoin's at the low. Hello, Bitcoin is weak today.
Hello.
So BMNR has been trending down. So I shorted, when it made the higher low in here, I just sort of shorted the trend break. And then when it came back up, I'm like, well, the trend is going to correspond with VWAP. So if it gets in there and puts a topping tail candle, I'll reshort that. I'm out if we break volume weighted average price in the trend line. So that's what I'm watching. The XE, maybe not be anything that. Yeah, the IPO is probably not going to be anything if you're looking long this afternoon. It's actually breaking the low of the day. If it gets to 23, that's the issue price. If somehow it gets to 23, I think you got a chance at a long there. AMD has made a high above 350. That seems like it's possibly on the other end. Oh yeah, I still have.
I'm only long Tesla.
I still have that stupid wick on Intel. Well, that Intel reversion went into VWAP. The only thing is, it should have been a short at VWAP, and that is now only up 21%. Unfortunately, terrible Intel. You got to do much better than that. I'm looking at Micron here. That's weak and under VWAP. It's so interesting that we find ourselves at the highs. When I showed you AMD's pullback, Micron's under the volume weighted average price, Intel, which is supposed to have led the way here, that's near its afternoon lows. It's not as much strength as you would think out there. So I'm still looking for something that, like, we're still trend up. Like, I'm looking for something that looks like a long entry. But I really don't want to touch that IPO. I'm going to get that one out of there.
I mean, the IPO's not really moving that bad. I think we could probably get away with a little bit there.
The trend is just so weak on it, though.
So we just started, I mean, it was long Tesla early. We talked about getting dumped out there. Then look at all of these shorts off VWAP, right? Like, here's VWAP short, like there's VWAP short. Like, this is 376.50, this is 373.30s, you know? So like, this is $3 right there down. Like, this is another move down. Finally, we broke it. And this is where I decided now to go long. Like, I thought, okay, a break of VWAP here now the market's, it may fade out here, you know, which is what it's trying to do right now. So that's not going to be great for this. I just thought finally a break of VWAP, we could have got going. It's too bad that it really didn't get going. We did have a good fill rate into here of 377 when it broke a little higher, so we were able to make 60 or 70 cents on that one. But now we're trying to average in, and we're watching out for this 200 period. We don't like that break, and I have a stop through 374. So I'd like it to come down, look a little bit here at the 200 period moving average, and we'll see if we can get a little longer, and then we're going to get out if it breaks through 374. I just want to, you know, in case this market does go for a little bit of a run here, I don't mind Tesla. I think there's a little bit of a get up coming through that name. It's definitely not strong like we had an NVIDIA strength or anything like that, but you know, to Neil's point, waiting to see if there's any pullbacks coming in here for NVIDIA. We're well away from VWAP. Now, could we get to it? Yes, I mean, we get to 207. I heard Joe on the midday show call it early that, you know, NVIDIA could drift up into that 211, 212 area, and that's exactly where it went. So shout outs to my guy back there. But there's 211 right there. And if you're going, okay, the Pakistani delegation, the Iranian delegation, I guess, arriving. But this is Tesla. I want to look at NVIDIA just real quick just to show you guys. So there it is right there. We talked about this old previous close. We may, if we can close above 208 or so, then we'll have a new closing all-time high. But these wicks gave it into 211, let's call it 212. We have right here, 212.19 as the high on e-signal there. We were $1 away from that today. So we'll see if we can get back up to that side. Obviously, some positive turns in the market would be nice, but you don't necessarily need those for this space. I mean, I thought Micron was a little, not cooked, but I thought Micron did have some pullback into it over the last couple of days, and yeah, that was wrong. There's the move back into 320. Like, can you believe, again, Micron just a month, not even a month ago, two weeks ago, was down here in the mid to the low 300s. Now you're at $500.
But it goes to show, because remember the earnings?
Straight fire.
We were on the desk talking about how we turn around. We actually had the regular format for the aftermarket show, and it was about how great and epic the Micron earnings were. And they still dropped like 20-something%, or almost 25%, maybe even more than that, off that bottom. And so if you see something that has a good report, sometimes you just wait out that dip, and eventually these things get higher. What's crazy to me is SNDK tagged 1,000 this morning. Now, it hasn't regained it, but my goodness.
Is that the highs for SNDK?
No, they report next week.
Oh, okay.
I believe I want to say Thursday. Okay.
Daryl will be dropping that.
I was talking about this, like sometimes all last week. Anytime something like that would happen, I'd give that little bit of a pause to let Adara say it so that I could be sure, just completely leaning on the fact that I knew she'd remember. No, so Thursday of next week, the expectations are super high. And the crazy thing is, doesn't it feel like even if they meet them, will it matter? What has the stock done going into earnings? This is ludicrous mode. Okay, at the beginning of the year, this is $240. When we had the March dip, this was $570. This is going to be at $1,000 going into earnings. Like, what could they possibly tell us? And then you look at the Intel chart. I say it with a chuckle because you could have said all of those same things about Intel, and then they went 20% anyways. So it's pretty intense. SK Hynix has been going ham. If you look at them, they could be an interesting one to watch in sympathy. But we'll see. I mean, ultimately, right now, it's like ride the wave in the chip names that are strong, and if you doubt them, then you basically just get burnt. All that said, like Intel is still, for all of them, it's still trending to the downside. I don't know why. Yeah, it's one of those you flip. The market seemed bullish. That's the excuse. I'll give you that's the excuse. For some reason, I went from liking short to liking long. That was just not the. Intel's been profit taking the entire way. Well, this is the other new thing. I love this whole. Give us a side look.
Oh, I'm actually on
the chart, and then you can put both of us in there.
I like that. And there goes
all
Joe.
these new looks.
There we go. Oh, look at all these new looks. Fabian on the 1s and 2s there.
Taking his lunch away. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. You didn't like the salmon, my guy?
Oh, he's already finished.
He likes
oh,
Neil and I both. Niels, I think you were mentioning that you might.
I did
go
today.
sans tilapia now.
Not that I might. It's just that the tilapia had been getting better, and I haven't had the salmon in a while because I get the tilapia every single time. And man, the salmon, it's like a good, healthy. You get more protein for like easily 50% more protein. It's just you get more, and it was delicious. So bump that. I'm done with it. I like that. I'm over to I'd say the dark side, but I feel like the dark side is the tilapia.
Okay.
What do we have? No.
Now what, Chilean nightmare?
No, I'm getting on the. Don't you steal my moment? I was gonna do my train whistle. Oh snap! That was even better.
We're trying to be a little bit.
This guy's crazy.
This guy's good. Yeah, I mean, this is what we're doing here on a Friday night. So
Friday.
We're really happy for everybody to be here today. And I mean, here's a quick little look, and we'll get into some trading ideas in just a couple seconds. Here's a look right now. I mean, when they show up, and we got to look for some trades. A little disappointing with the healthcare technology space today. I mean, Thermo Fisher's up, Merck down, Eli Lilly down, AbbVie down. Space not very healthy here. Healthcare technology. There's these services names, man. The Google, the Microsoft, the Metas, the Palantirs, Salesforce. Nice to see Salesforce getting off the schneid a little bit. Adobe up 2% as well. Synopsis, okay, Oracle down 2%. That's an interesting one. Potentially we'll look at that as that goes oppo today. ServiceNow with the report on it, maybe potential short squeeze opportunity now for ServiceNow, and there was Trade Desk as well moving there. And then here we go, man. This is the big guy over here. Look at AMD, up 14% right now, just shrugging off Intel. Intel still up 21, but Intel helping lift AMD high there. Qualcomm, we saw that get going earlier as well. That's up 10%. Lockheed Martin, story about Lockheed Martin, I think maybe canceled government shipment there. Some Lockheed Martin, we'll get that details. And LMT down 4% and RTX both down there. They're saying they got a contract there, but again, with potential ceasefire talks, which are already on, and potential deal making, we will see potentially pullbacks. And if I use potential one more time, cut my mic on RTX and LMT there. So those are just a couple more names going. And then, one thing that we haven't looked at too much today, I bought some more SoFi yesterday at $18 flat. I don't know what it's doing today, but there's JP Morgan down 1%. We'll take a look at SoFi. And it's the dark red ones that we're concerned about. Capital One, downside there, PNC. I saw Robinhood was over 80 again. I don't know where. Oh, there it is, right there. So Robinhood up today, so $84. So that's going to be.
I like that it's relative strength to crypto and the space.
Yeah. So with what is Bitcoin 77.5 right now? So Bitcoin's not.
Well, we had another
fun going poll. A little bit. There goes Tesla, by the way.
We had another fun poll that was which company is going to get to the 1 trillion mark next, but we excluded a few. Like we didn't allow Eli Lilly to be in there because it got there.
It was already there.
It was there and then came back. We didn't allow anybody to pick JP Morgan because that's too boring. It's like JP Morgan's just going to slowly climb and eventually get there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right? So I think it was like AMD was very popular and that had as of yesterday it had to double.
It had to double from this current price.
Because it was at 500.
That's not winning then.
No, it was about what would get there first. Ultimately, we didn't allow any of the IPOs in there.
So Meta, all the Mag 7s are already there.
Micron was on the list.
Okay.
It's an interesting.
I don't know. I'd have to see a list of the names that are potentially up there. Right?
By the way, this Atom stock, Atom, not Adam, Atom.
Don't at us.
Exactly what I'm pronouncing wrong. I was already told I say out a strange way, according to someone in the chat. Maybe it's like a Canadian thing.
Say it again.
Out?
Yeah, you say it strangely. Okay. No, I have no idea. What you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What do you want about over here? The worst is South Park. South Park really does Canada dirty, man. Like I don't ever hear.
They did us so wrong.
I don't ever hear anybody talking like that. Do we even have an accent? I mean, come on.
And then first of all, just the fact that they even have like the heads on the Canadian characters are different. Like they're not human beings. Although I died laughing in the South Park movie.
How do you say out if we're saying it wrong?
I think I say it
out.
Totally.
You're out.
You're out of here.
Is that not right? Is that not right? I mean, speaking about going on vacation, like running into tons of Americans, I mean, come on, man. You can't talk about Canadians having an accent. Like, in America, it's very regional based.
Yeah, very.
Instantly, like, there's a whole bunch of people from Boston and everything like that. So, you know, you could hear that accent all over the place as well. Okay, so I'm only in, so we're BM&R short, we're Tesla long. I'm just waiting to see if we can dance with this devil here, you know, through VWAP. So we'll see if it can hold. It looks like it's trying to hold. We get some good bases right here. I'm trying to get a little longer down here, dropping it out if it breaks 374. Like, I mean, it'll be a $2 hit if that's what winds up happening, but I really do think that there is a good opportunity. We get out some a little bit there at 377, which was the high at around 11 o'clock right there. Gonna see if it wants to continue to make a move higher. We're hearing both in our ears here, KITT. This is that
Knight Rider.
And Knight Rider, so shout out to Kit. They should do something with Knight Rider again.
That should be
I know Hasselhoff is not the thing, but
just
you know, there it goes. This was the underwater mine thing, wasn't it? Weren't these guys trying to get those underwater mines going there and you know, taking them out, like, you know, the technology to find them? It's Kit, Nauticus Robotics is the name here for Kit, and that's starting to go here as we get a little bit of action.
They're underwater drones, right? Effectively.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe they're out there to take out the drones. I think it's like a defense name.
That's kind of pertinent these days, or important.
Pertinent.
Especially
okay,
Neil, I don't know. I'm trying
fancy
to
over here.
No, that wasn't good enough. So every single time this pops up, I gotta move my stop because the trend line is the trend line. So I just tighten the stop on BM&R, so that's gonna stay at 22. I haven't reloaded on this push up. It needs to get a little bit tighter, but it's close to looking for a bit of a reload. And then if I get a couple legs out, I consider reloading again. But I just saw IBIT come back a little bit. Like that had broken the low, and that's coming back in. If that regains the bottom, I might not like the reload as much. Just looking for a chip name that's still looking okay. They're not looking good.
I mean, I like the story with Amazon today.
He's already back down at VWAP.
I mean, Amazon today expands its partnership with Meta to deploy millions of its Gravitron processors. So I think Amazon has a great story. This is another absolute banger, man. And I had that piece which got, I don't know, 12,000 views or something like that on, which is not that much, but just on X, when we talked about it once it came back in. I can probably go find it, and saying that I thought they got the story wrong on Amazon down here near 200. So we were able to pick some more up in the long-term account again. So we're happy to get some Amazon down here in and around $2 on this level. But again, we had to, I wasn't super aggressive because we broke through the 200 period moving average, but once we were making some bottoms, we basically did like the 3-day rule on earnings. So I think it was in and around 204, 205, does go in and against us there, down to 198, but then here's the pop on Amazon. And you know, if these, and we're gonna get it next week, right? If the spend is still here, you're finally starting to see some of these mega spenders and mega CapEx guys come through with software that hopefully can become profitable and give them back some of this CapEx spend. So we're looking to see if Meta is one of those names. And wow, what a bottom that was, down near 550. Nice move higher right there now for Meta. So we'll see if that one wants to get going. I'm actually excited to see what Meta's report is. Like, I know we're well away from its highs, but if Meta can just pull back, like if we can get, well, earnings are already next week, so, but if we do get a couple of days of pullback there on Meta, depending on what the earnings are like, I think right around here, the $600 mark should be a decent one for Meta. So we'll see if that can play out. That's an earnings call that I'm very, very interested in for next week, just to see. I mean, Meta can move a hell of a lot there on earnings. We are getting a dump off here.
It's been getting smoked mostly. The one thing that's happening is US though is right into, look, oil futures closed now.
Right.
Well, it's 10 seconds. It's 2:29 and 50 seconds. You know what I mean. You get the idea. But we're right at VWAP. Like if they push through, I think that's going to mean probably some downside for the market. But you could reverse here, and that could give a little bit of strength on this recent dip. It just feels like the last little bit, and this has happened in the afternoon until we get like some kind of headline. This has been happening where you get the drift, and then the drift just goes along, or I guess counter to what's happening in energy futures. If that doesn't change with some kind of a headline, I think go from there. So I'm going to watch that USO at VWAP. If it starts to curl, then I want to take some out of BM&R and look for some longs. AMD's at VWAP-ish. It's adjacent to it. So once I see some weakness, hopefully this can get into the volume-weighted average price. There might be something better. I don't know why I'm pigeonholing myself to only AMD. Like there could also be a nice higher low there on Intel. NVIDIA was stronger for a lot of the day. Oh, that's, wow. AMD still $2 from the volume-weighted average price. Iran State News Agency, IRNA, whatever, reports that at the moment, there is no planned meeting between Arakachi and Trump's envoys, Witkoff and Kushner. I probably pronounced that dude's name wrong, according to Axios.
So we already kind of knew this, but because we got a little bit of a spike in oil and it's being circulated, my bad, a second here. There we go. Hi, Mike. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, given that, like, we did get a little bit of a spike in oil, I wanted to mention this. It's being recirculated. A lot of these headlines are being circulated over and over, guys, so just be aware. But this one is one that is getting traction again. So yeah, it looks like we're not going to get that meeting between the foreign minister and the envoys, though, again, this was reported like at least an hour ago already. So just be aware, be careful of the recirculation, and just keeping you guys posted in everything I see and hear.
News, as Adara just mentioned there, we're sort of getting stories, on the hour, every hour, any minute, something can break somewhere. So stay here with us at Trader TV Live. We've got all the news with you. Adara's gone through so many of these stories that if there's anything that catches her eye that maybe stands out, we'll get that to you ASAP. But yeah, there goes XE, by the way. It just broke another shelf right there. So back down through $28, makes a new low of 27, and just another failed IPO. Yeah. We looked at Figma there, and it was making new lows when I left. I mean, I guess there's probably been a little bit of a battle back in the not really. Well, in the IGV. There it goes, just taking out new lows today. So brand new 52-week low. We just said we couldn't find much that was 52-week lowish, but there it is right there. And unfortunately here in Ontario, the Ontario government has now limited. I mean, StubHub. What the hell? StubHub is $7. Okay. Wow. This is just another one of those names that came to market. It was actually I think it was a decent, maybe day one play. I don't remember making that much money on it, but it looks like it wasn't.
I don't think
it opened at $25.50 or so. No, because
I think we lost money on it.
It would be the close of this candle, yeah.
So there's only one or two that were bad. I'm pretty sure StubHub was
yeah, because this would have opened at $25.50. The most it went to was $26.30, so we might have made a little bit and then got out. So yeah, playbook bad, but yeah, here the government's banned selling tickets for more than whatever the face value you paid, but I don't know how they're going to figure that out. So their Ticketmaster apparently was removing posts yesterday of people selling their tickets. I have no idea how that's going to work out. But StubHub, nice downside play, and then also LYV is Live Nation. I guess so. I don't really know too much about Live Nation, but again, the concerts and everything, it's more the Ticketmaster and StubHub and SeatGeeks and all that kind of stuff that are potentially in a problem here. But there it goes right now. Nice little, that's just in Ontario. Just little levels there, 150 holding for Live Nation. But yeah, just an interesting thing there. And then we had DraftKings was a short potential that I was looking, again, it's not, there's nothing hit, but on radar as we opened up today around this 2150 marker. So DraftKings going upside. And this only sparked interest to me because when Joe brought this to our attention early, it was because it was downgraded. So this is why it's like, how is this downgraded today? When it's just upside straight. So I'm gonna try to find out maybe who downgraded that. And give them a little bit of a warning shot for. Can you get that DraftKings story for me again, Adara? Because potentially I might have misunderstood. Maybe it was an upgrade after all that. But no.
It was not an upgrade after all that, Sean. It was a downgrade from MoffettNathanson to neutral, and they cut their price target to $27. Before that, it was at $38. So DraftKings, I guess, becoming a draft peasant with that downgrade.
Yeah. So okay. So that's what I mean. Like, good call there, Adara. But that's what I was trying to get at. Was like, okay. Why did we go completely reversed on that play? Okay, we did it's not a reload, it's anyone says, I'm averaged in, right there on Tesla. So we mentioned it coming, I mean, this is part of the patience game, and it's just like, you know, it comes in, we didn't put on a whole heck of a lot down there. I could actually try to find out, let me actually find out exactly what percentage we put on. Okay, we put on a quarter more. Down there. So it was decent. A quarter more down there, get it back up into VWAP. But, you know, if we just wait and we put on full Monty, we only have one unit down there, then completely different story. We may be looking to take not only the majority of it out, but we would definitely have a dollar club winner right now. So, but, you know, where you got in and what's going on now, we're just trying to make a little bit of money. So let's see if this can get back to the upside. Let's put an offer right around here, 376. 30s. We'll see if we get that. I do have it. There it goes. I was going to say I do have another order at 10s, so we do get that as that spikes through a little bit. I'm going to go to 376.25 now. We'll put out 15% if we can get that, and then we'll see if it wants to just sort of float a little bit higher now on Tesla. So a decent average in down there. We'll see if it can get going now for that. It's very good to see you, RMIM. We're excited to be back right now. I think we decided on pizza night at the house because we're going to chill out a little bit more there. And it's funny because the kids yesterday, you know, they get home and they're like, all right, like, you know, where's the buffet line? Where's the menu? And we're just like, no. We're opening up the cupboard and whatever's in there, we're going to have. And then tonight we'll do, there's a movie on Netflix. It's another one of those crazy, stupid shark movies where the sharks like invade.
Oh, I know. I know the one you're talking about. I forget the name.
So I
there's
said
there's like a tsunami thing that comes in?
Yes, it's a tsunami in Boston or something. And all these sharks, they like start to like live in people's houses and all these kind of things.
It's got the dude from the brother from Gladiator.
Okay, so I sort of, Marissa and I said that maybe that we would just watch a little bit of that.
It's not Sharknado.
No, because there was another one that was in Paris that we liked. It's so
I know that one. I know the Paris.
They're so funny.
No, it's just like
something
it's just
fun
like
to watch.
silly action gore type movie.
I don't know.
Oh my God, there's another shark movie. It's called The Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and I think that movie's really good. Do you know?
I know Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh, that's the kid.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
Yeah, that's the guy.
All right. See what you got for us.
Let's deviate from the sharks and into the news now. Eli Lilly's obesity pill is setting a record for its second week in competition with NVO. Pill that was launched earlier this month called Foundeo has been prescribed 3,700 around times in the U.S. in the week ended April 17th, according to IQVIA data that's shared by Wall Street analysts. And while the news is great, it's also good to take into consideration the fact that the figures are lagging behind NVO's oral Wegovy, which was logged 18,410 prescriptions in the first full week and 3,071 in the first 4 days after launch, compared to Foundeo's 1,390 days. So 1,390, in its debut week. So LLY in the red, down 4%, and NVO is up in the green, down almost 6%. But about that IPO as well, XE, I was looking at it. Sorry about that, wrong chart. I was looking at the chart today, right now. He's right. It is another failed IPO, but you honestly never know your luck with IPOs. So maybe hang in there or maybe don't, but it's all dependent on your luck.
Well, yeah, well, it's
there's strategies. Yeah,
it's a timing thing.
But as if you're going to close your eyes.
I got water, thanks. I think
you asked for some
Dude,
meds. What do you mean? I have Advil right here. These are the best Advils right here. These are the gel caps.
You know what? I would swear that didn't you run out?
I refilled. This has been here all week.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even notice because I remember you had ran out. I just didn't even think about it. Here, I'll take the Advil.
Don't do drugs, Fabian. Oh, I'm trying to give some good.
I just have a headache.
All right, now we're probably going to get demonetized.
Why are we going to get demonetized? Are these extra strength or just regular?
It might say on them, but they're the gel caps, so they're a little bit stronger. But they'll hit you quicker, my guy.
Whatever.
Sorry, man, you're a grown man.
Unimportant right
Fine with
now.
maybe
Well,
two
hey,
Advils?
thank you, appreciate it.
I'm gonna see.
I didn't see you reload it.
Yeah, it's reloaded.
We're reloaded. Okay, so I'm not going to reload because we're under VWAP on USO, unless we lose.
Come on, Tesla.
All I did is tighten this one up, really, because here's the trend. It's not really reversing off the trend line, so I just want to be patient with it. But you know what, everybody, speaking of patience, we should all be patient with the updates from a company like OGen because it's such an important thing that they are trying to accomplish. And it's OGEN on the NYSE American. And they've now activated their phase 2A clinical trial in Australia with its first site fully operational and patient dosing expected next. They're developing ONP-002, an intranasal treatment targeting concussion and mild traumatic brain injury, an area where there are currently no FDA-approved therapies. Alongside that, Origenics has spent the past year strengthening its balance sheet, raising capital, resolving liabilities, and restoring exchange compliance. The focus now shifts to execution, with clinical progress underway and additional CNS assets under evaluation. Shout out to Origenics and appreciate them for sponsoring this portion of the show. AMD looks like it's trying to make a nice bit of a curl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, AM Dizzle. All right, looks like AMD wants to make a bit of a trend break. So this is going to happen first. Confirm the trend break, going to go into the long, give it to the prior bar, like that kind of a, yada, 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 same old. You probably heard it a million times by now. Intel's not looking exciting. Micron wasn't really looking exciting. So I'm going to focus maybe on AMD. It would have been NVIDIA, but NVIDIA is nowhere near a reasonable pullback level. We're close to power hour, but we still have a good amount of time. Still got to watch out for that. Just make sure you keep an eye on USO. Because in the back of my mind, any spike can put a kaput on any technical trade that you were looking at. So if I see that sucker flashing to the upside, I'm canceling bids. But we haven't closed above the trend line, so I'm going to stay pretty much patient with it, kicking myself for not wanting to be short that IPO. I think one of the things about, it's like how many times, look, the long strategy works. I'm not complaining about it. It's just that so many times this year, it's ended up a better short and not flipping short. I think I flipped short once out of like 15 IPOs or whatever the heck it's been this year, which is a disappointment. I think that's a bit of a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other play. That's what I was sort of thinking about when we talked about Anthropic and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Was I think there could be a reversal if it gets a little bit too hot.
The short was.
Oh, remember about this the short was very good. The thing about this was this road showed at 23. So, they got the IPO price was 23. It opened up at 30, 31. So that's 30.11, I believe it was that opened up at. So that's part of the problem. The story here was that it was a little too excited to begin with right there. But we got excited because we did take $1. Holla at $1, which was actually $2. Our average price is $1, but that was $2 from this move. That's 375. That's actually it doesn't break 377. We got 376.85 there on that move. So that was a nice move all the way back up to the upside. We just take a little bit out there as it breaks back down through 50. And I'm thinking about exiting. Let's just exit a little bit now so that we don't have to worry about it if it does break VWAP, which actually it's looking. See, that's the problem. You offer, now you have to punch down to get some more shares out. So we'll see if we can offer out. There we go. We get some 15s there on Tesla as it looks like it's trying to break back down. But we're still here for it. We did have a story there about Trump, but Derek keeps going back and back with us on that when we hear something.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep the headlines I give you guys light and basically just looking, do we get a response? If not, I don't really want to inundate you guys too much, but Axios reporting that Trump spoke with the Sheikh of Qatar. I was already seeing that earlier, and the oil and the market don't really seem to care. But yeah, I guess they did speak again. Not the first time I've seen this reported. And again, guys, be aware of just the constant recirculation of these headlines. So a lot of times you're seeing headlines that we saw first like an hour ago. This one I think I saw at least 20 minutes ago. So yeah, just be cautious, and that's why we're here.
There's been a lot of that this week.
Valid.
We keep getting, it's just let's regurgitate something that has already been out, which in this cycle, that's just how it is. And you got to be able, that's why we have a Dara, and I think it's fantastic that we do. So that was just a fake out candle on AMD. Here, I'll go back to why I ended up not pulling the trigger. So I remember I drew the trend line and it was pressing the trend line. Then you get a topping tail candle and now it's already heading red. So zero confirmation that it even remotely wants to look like a long breaking that. It just didn't break the trend line. At the same time, BMNR kind of held its, God, I still got to draw this line. There we go. So that kind of held its trend line with a topping tail wick. So it already moved the stop in here. So if it breaks 22, it's a pretty tight stop. I'm not caring about VWAP. I'll go with the trend for sure. I was looking at Poet as a small capper with a chance to go. There's like double top, volume starting to come in here. There's really not much that's threatening a high break, Poet, blue sky setup, all the good stuff you want to see, and then a chance to take out this high at 1550. So I'm throwing that one up on one of my level 2s. I'd rather get some inventory going into the break. I just like the fact that volume picked up here. It was doing nothing, and can I do this so you can see this better? There we go. So you get a bit of a volume spike, and if we can continue that, try to play this into the 1550 breakout on Poet, which I believe Sharif was trading. I would make the assumption that he was trading this one. Yeah. 60 million in volume on the day, above VWAP for most of the day. Looks like that's one of those small cappers that did the right thing. I don't know what they do.
So we'll see.
Don't even care.
No, we'll see. Okay, so there is a move coming back in a little bit here. I'll reload a little bit at this 375 clean mark there. If it does come back in, we're out of more than half of our Tesla position as this started to climb back there to the upside for Tesla. I mean, we were waiting up here at 377. We took an 80 fill instead. So we'll try it one more time to see if it wants to come through. But ultimately, this 374 was where I was going to, think about dropping it if it was wrong. So I'd like to see this extension sort of happen just a little bit more for us here on Tesla. Dying of a slow death, it seems like right now. And it's at a big day, so let's not get too carried away. But NVIDIA. NVIDIA right now is giving it up. What looked like a darling early, we tried to go short in and around this area of 207 when we thought it was getting a little dried up there. We were able to make money early and then got taken out of it. So, net down on it, but nothing to cry about. Right now, you're looking about getting into VWAP again, just trying to break the shelf right here of 208. So it looks like we're doing that. And there it is right there on your 1 minute chart. Looking to come into VWAP. That's the only time that I would think about doing anything with it. There's the break there. There's the whole the VWAP also with 50 period, also with 200 period support. But right now you don't have any support at all. You got VWAP by itself. And that's sitting here at 207, and it may not want to hold that, right? And so this is a very, very risky trade. If anything, I like to short on NVIDIA right now. The 208 there, 209, you got some nice areas of support, I would think, or resistance in this situation, but support for your short, pushing down, levels starting to turn over just a little bit right now, like 50 period sloping, everything trying to get lower. Okay, so that's what's going on there. A name that's been getting hit, my kids, if you saw that, you wouldn't think it's getting hit at all, but Roblox, just bad, right? Right into, again, another level. There at $52, $53. The 200 period moving, I was going to say, is up here somewhere, but there it is right there, 95. So definitely a broken stock, turning downside, bouncing off the 50 period. I don't like it, but watch out for this kind of a break in Roblox as well. And it does have memory. We go back down into here into $45, $50. Roblox getting hit there as well. So this is going to be another name down on the day, which you're not going to see many tech names that are like that. We missed an opportunity to get some more there, but we were 50 cents away. Let's see if this can get back going. Right now, trying to break through VWAP. Hey, man, let's take out 2% if we can, which we do right there at 10s. We'll offer that out. Now we'll see if this one wants to mature up into those levels of 377 and change. Thanks to Sia for the report there. As Eli Lilly, though, all right, hold on a second. Where's market red? There it is right here. Not good to the downside. What was the story with Eli Lilly anyways? Because this just continues to bleed. I want to buy more.
So basically their weight loss drug, their new weight loss drug, I don't know if y'all can hear me, but their new weight loss drug, that oral, the Foundeo, I believe. No, and again, this is not confirmed. It's just like literally rumors. It's speculation, I guess, based on some data there, the IQVIA data, I believe. But they're basically just saying that, yeah, this is not doing as well as Novo's, is what's the story is there.
And that's the oral.
LLY.
That's the oral.
That's the oral, yeah, the Foundeo,
Okay.
the new one.
Okay. So,
Well, part of their advantage was supposed to be that their oral was cheaper.
but the whole thing is like, if these are just, this is what I'm saying, like, if these are rumors or what people are talking about, like, I want to see some, like,
There was
studies
also a
done
story
before you
in
kill
India,
this
I think
thing.
it was, where like supposedly it would have been a good market. They already have a ton of knockoffs in India which suppresses some.
Okay, but the
demand.
knockoff is one thing, because the thing is that in India it's not an insurance game. Maybe you guys tell me. I don't know if there is big healthcare insurance over there, or drugs and all that kind of stuff. But like right here, if you're trying to claim something, I mean, you're not going to be able to use some of these knockoffs, right? I know it's very expensive, but many people that are on some of these GLP-1s are I assuming are a little more affluent, because this is a very expensive drug to take.
Hollywood, dude.
And then, yeah, look at Hollywood, right? So, and then at the end of the day, I think that there's going to be some opportunities for some of these healthcare to. Oh, Iran wants to talk now, according to Trump, but whatever. Puff, puff, pass on that one until it's real. All right, where are we going to? All right, Adair in the back.
Yeah, so here's the news. This is kind of, I like this story too because it summarizes, I think, a lot of the headlines we've seen back and forth. But ABC reporting U.S. and Iran delegations are going to separately meet with Pakistani leaders this weekend. Now, this you could easily infer by some of the stories we had where they're both going to Pakistan, but they're not going to talk to each other. Yeah, they're both going to talk separately with negotiators in Pakistan. Now, apparently, after these separate meetings, if they go well, U.S. and Iran delegations were going to meet directly on Sunday. So on Saturday, they each have their little private tete-a-tetes, their private talks. Then they all come together on Sunday. Apparently, this Iranian delegation has already arrived in Pakistan. U.S. delegation expected to arrive Saturday evening local time. So probably, I guess, midday Saturday, our time, if I'm doing that math correctly. Back to you.
Okay, there we go. I mean, it's not USO's not really moving around, so I think that's we've said this before. You know when the headline is going to be new and a big deal. Because if you have oil futures up, or just even the overall market, like the SPY or the Qs, kind of instantly you get that reaction. I hopped out on BMNR. I'm not reversing long. Usually in the afternoon, if it was an all-day trend break, I'd go the other direction. But crypto's not really doing anything. So we took one reload when it failed, but then left the stop at the prior bar. We'll be out of that. That Poet stock, all right, let me just actually, Poet Technologies is what they are called. There you go. And I didn't even look up the short float on this, which we usually do. It is 8.5% short float, decent size float of 150. It hasn't even turned over the entire float, but a little bit of a late afternoon bull flag, let's call it. So it dipped back in, so sort of fill in this candle, and bought the dip on the higher low. Going to play it to the high, but it's a 1550 breakout. I want to take some out. So whenever you ever hear the term, if I say inventory into 1550 or into the high, I'm stealing that from Obi, which means instead of taking the breakout, if it dips before it makes the breakout, just buy the dip on trend and then hold into the break. That way, if it makes the high of daybreak, you're not having to punch 1551. Like I'm in here at 22s, shocker, it's me and I bid 22. And I can just put a trailing stop in, and it'll end up being break even if it loses that breakout top. Let's go to Adair. Looks like we have more news, apparently.
No.
More news, and it has to do with President Trump apparently speaking on Iran, telling Reuters reportedly that Iran does plan to make an offer that will, quote, resolve U.S. demands. Apparently, I guess they're negotiating with Iran. They're dealing with the people who are in charge now, because President Trump has said a lot of times they're dealing with the people who aren't in charge. They're dealing with a different faction of the regime, if you will. Now he said at this point, they're actually negotiating with the right people, I guess, in his eyes for getting that deal resolved. So again, President Trump seemingly very optimistic, as he tends to be, about how these negotiations are going to go with Iran and the U.S. Back to you.
All right, sounds good there. And as we said, the more stories that are starting to come through, the more we will be able to identify with, exactly who are the leaders over there in Iran, and if we can get that going through. But with Pakistan on board, it seems like that's going to be part of the, building that sort of tie together, which is really nice to see. And oh boy, here we go. It's back into the dollar club, baby, the club that we like right there. But look at ServiceNow. That's Tesla. But look at ServiceNow. Yesterday down 18%. Yesterday on earnings. ServiceNow's been getting smoked. Obviously, as we see, that's a split. So unfortunately, we don't have the charts to show that. But right into here, $85 right now for ServiceNow. Big move yesterday on earnings, or sorry, 2 days ago, I guess, on earnings. And then just trying to give itself a new range, I feel like. If this is going to be the bottom, then you're getting a little bit of a move up. We'll see if we can withstand that. But there goes ServiceNow. I looked it up. It's only the short float is only 4%. according to Benzinga. So we're not really getting that huge move that we had thought due to a short. Oops, that could be possible due to a short flow. Yeah, TTD was the one with the actual short report out there.
They're 18
report about a short float getting going there. But this is what ServiceNow looks like. So this is a better chart. It has not been great, right? As we worry about ad spend and all that, and we worry about these LLMs and where the money's going, and but you could see it did have a nice recovery right back up into the 50-period moving average. Now wash back down there on earnings. We'll have to wait to see what happens with ServiceNow. But yeah, good call out by everybody in the chat. Make sure you do hit the like and subscribe to get part of the chat. So for me, this is the 200. This is the 25-period moving average is making a move higher, and then this is your 50-period moving average as well. We've sort of respected the 25, which is right there. So if you want to go long a little bit now, I mean, that's been good. I don't think I would hold it too far past the 50-period moving average on a 1-minute chart. And we're kind of running out of time. We're getting into the power hour here in the last hour of trade. So right there, $90, sorry, 90, 89 would sort of be the area which is coming back in. So I mean, you could just be patient. Don't even, maybe you don't even take this right now. I mean, we're not have to go crazy. Just you wait for it to come to 90, 89 bucks, sorry. Take a couple shares, and then there's a drop-off zone right there, 80 to 88.50. So 50 cents worth of risk might be something to consider for your take there.
Give me a fifth name for this. Here's what we're gonna do. It's 3 o'clock. Look, the chips are in play today. So which chip name would you swing till Monday? Basically means you just have to hold. Which would you prefer to hold over the weekend? Like they're all up. And so NVIDIA,
well, I mean, you don't have Broadcom, but
AVGO. I'm not missing any.
I mean, we don't want to go with SMCI or anything.
No, not SMCI. And you don't get to pick the stocks. Let's just leave it at this. If you do more than 5, I think it gets out of hand. So we'll just start this one up. I want to see what the viewers think. I feel like NVIDIA is going to be good. So which chip name we feel the best holding over the weekend till Monday? Let's say Monday at the open. NVIDIA, 1. Type 2 for AMD. Type 3 in the chat for Intel. Type 4 in the chat for Marvell. Type 5 in the chat for AVGO. Oh, we could have done ARM. That doesn't matter. I'm not doing 6, and it's already started. Sorry, guys.
Oh, ARM would have been good.
Because I forgot how much they were up.
Reset it.
You want me to get rid of ARM?
Yeah, I want ARM in there. I want ARM in there.
Okay, fine.
Because NVIDIA, AMD is fine. Intel's fine.
I'll do it.
Marvell's been on a run.
We'll start it again.
Yeah,
Which
start that again.
chip name would you?
Oh, now you have to redo the whole thing. Okay. I'll let Neil do that, and we'll take this thing over right now quickly. All right, so just to look here, Tesla came back up. We did exit out a little bit. We talked about that, man. It does get to 376.50. And, perfect timing as we refresh that. I'm going to get another water. And we're going to go over to SIA for a small cap recap.
IWM in the green, up almost 1%. Taking a look at a couple individual tickers for today. CRDO in the green, up 7% on the board. TTMI up almost 11.21%. BE Bloom Energy, however, my favorite stock. I will stop boring you with it, but having a day currently down in the negatives, 1.14%. But they again do have their earnings coming up next week on the 28th of April. So excited about that. Then Cocoa, we have the Vita Cocoa.
Not to interrupt you, can I ask you a question while you're still talking about Bloom?
Okay.
It's your favorite stock. Do you own it in your TFSA?
I don't hold it yet because that's actually a very good question. I don't know why I don't own it, but I currently just have ETFs in my TFSA, Canadian and US ETFs, but they're mostly high dividend yield ETFs. Okay. And the one company I think I do have is NVIDIA. And I want to, yes, NVIDIA, thumbs up, but I do want to expand into Apple and BE for sure.
There you go. I was just curious, thought I'd ask.
Oh, okay. One last stock to talk about, then I send it right back to you. Cocoa, the Vita Cocoa Company, my favorite non-natural coconut water company, has released its environmental impact report for the year 2025, and that could be the possible push up in the stock over there, stopping up by 6%. Sending it back to you.
Thanks. And I asked for a start. You're young. You can take chances. It's a lot easier to be in speculative names if the base of a portfolio is in indexes. It's easier to have some more upside speculative plays. And it's way better to start that kind of thing. When you're young,
You're right, but it's
so
like
much room for it to
with
go.
Bloom Energy as well, it's just that it's been having so much of, it's been on the up and
It's
up.
expensive.
It has been on the up and up. And I was talking to Adira with this off camera too, like that stock is bound to come down at some point. It can't just be going up. So yes, it's a risk, but I don't know. I want to wait until the earnings. I've signed up for the earnings call. I'm very excited for it. But yes,
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
See, I'd love to hear that. You're already listening to earnings calls. I'm going to get to the poll, everybody. We're going to redo the poll. Fine. ARM should have been on there. It's up way too much for not to be on there. But we got to get back to the trade first. Because if my entry is I want to take inventory into the break, there's the bottom tail, there's the curl. You know how I roll. I'm not looking to average that one in. I'm not looking to hold it against me. If it decides to dip, maybe I take another shot at a bounce a little bit lower. But once it loses the prior bar, I'm just going to try to keep the risk pretty tight in an afternoon. I doubt anything's going to be better than the early morning AMD trade or the IPO today. So you don't want to get too frisky on a Friday afternoon in a power hour when the volumes are dead right now. So here's the redone poll. It's all the same. So again, which chip name would you hold until Monday? NVIDIA 1, AMD 2, Intel 3, Marvell 4. There's a lot of options. Broadcom 5 and ARM 6. So ARM's up a boatload. It obviously deserved it. I'm still going to vote for NVIDIA. And one of the things that we always talk about here is when we do these polls, it's important that you don't just sit there spamming a single, just don't spam one number over and over again, because that's just rude. Like, you want everyone to get the chance to see them all run through. That's a terrible thing to do. Don't do it. I didn't just do it. So we'll leave that one up, at least till closer to the close. The early leader, oh, look at that. NVIDIA, 50%. There's 6 options, and half of you want NVIDIA. That's unbelievable. You got AMD at 18%. This is early, too. Intel at 7, Marvell at 9, Broadcom at 2. It's a good thing we put ARM in there. Really, nobody likes... There's a certain disrespect for Broadcom, I find. Like, really? Really? Broadcom, huh? Nobody ever wants this thing. It's like whatever, I don't own shares of Broadcom. I own indexes, and that's my only exposure to Broadcom. But yeah, that seems a little bit disappointing. No one's a huge fan of Broadcom. That's fine. Keep your votes coming, everybody. I don't think it's a surprise to say that NVIDIA, actually it's a bit of a surprise. I didn't think, with 6 options, I wasn't thinking it would be 50% NVIDIA. But given the fact that it has so much room to run relative to everything else on that list, I think that's why it makes sense. Like, everything else has gone stupid parabolic, and now it's NVIDIA's turn. It's NVIDIA's turn to show us $250, or more importantly, $270. Because
Get it.
No, it's actually no. It would be $240. That's that price without AMD making a new high, and then I no longer can say I made a bad decision. Very specific about that.
You are very...
No, it doesn't.
NVIDIA will go to 270.
Oh, I know it's going to go there. It's a matter of how long it takes to get there and where AMD is at that moment. But
NVIDIA?
But if AMD keeps on going, then it's irrelevant, and I still made the wrong call. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
No,
NVIDIA is such a beast.
NVIDIA is a monster.
But literally nobody ever picks Broadcom, man. Nobody.
Yeah, Marvell did pull back a little bit today, I noticed as well. Okay here, I mean, this is the watch list that I have up for myself. These are all kind of the stocks that I'm trying to look at in my own portfolio. I don't own all of these, but definitely a handful of these names I own. All right, if we just sort of sort here by change. So this is what's going, let's just go on the downside today. Can you zoom in on this, Andre, or is that too much of a deal? Okay, that's good, yeah, thanks. SMR down 4.5% today. USO, obviously oil, we talked about that. Texas Instruments, interesting name. That's down 1.7. Energy with XOM. Apple's kind of an interesting look today because as in Nasdaq's up 2%, Apple down 1.4%, something that's definitely not used to seeing for AAPL. JP Morgan down, Oracle down today. Disney, there's our Marvell. Marvell started pretty hot again. Marvell got to all-time highs today of 174 or something like that. They're down a little bit there, Marvell today. Uber down. really like Uber, man. Boeing had earnings when I was gone. That was a good work for them. They're down a little bit today as well, to 232 and change. Now let's flip it to the other side here and look at Intel, man, up $80. Oh, Intel's actually breaking. That was that 80-50 area that I wanted to look at there as well. ARM, StockXL, Qs. There's DraftKings up 5%, Amazon up 4%. We definitely like that name, Baba. I was saying this morning that I thought Alibaba is the next potential one to move on some good news. We just need to find that good news. And Intel already broke. Sorry, I thought Intel was still looking at that $80 level, but it already broke. Okay, so we'll wait to see what happens there. Tesla, we got a little bit out there at 376.30s or so. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye here on USO. This is going to be on watch here as we get reports from Iranian state media that Iran has not made a request for an in-person meeting with the U.S. So we heard reports from, I believe, ABC suggesting that we were going to get a U.S. and Iran in-person meeting in Pakistan on Sunday, should their individual negotiations with Pakistan go well on Saturday. But Iran basically saying, hey, we're not part of this, or as of this point, we have not requested this. So again, this headline in and of itself doesn't really contradict what we already know, because what we already know is they're only going to get the in-person meetings if it went well. But I guess Iran trying to make it very clear that, contrary to what certain U.S. officials, including Caroline Leavitt, have kind of implied today, Iran is not the one who first wanted to start these negotiations. It's still the U.S. trying to push for this. Back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Adara. And I just saw in our chat, we just had a TPS report saying Broadcom is a really well-run company. You've seen it up close. And, I don't know what it is, to be honest, about Broadcom, why it never seems to be all that hyped or popular. I'm just talking about amongst people I know, amongst our chat. It never really seems to get the respect deserved. And I say that as somebody who's never owned it either. So the thing about it is, you look at like the stock stats, you look at all of these chip names. There's so many good ones out there that really you can't own them all. But if you own none, you can't. You have to. It's just a space that you have to be in at this point, because it's a nuts and bolts. We're gonna go back to Sean. I was hoping we get a trend break on IBIT so I can make another trade here. But even that just failed breaking the all-day trend.
Well, we'll check that trend break in a matter of seconds. But volatility right now creates movement. And as you guys know, movement creates opportunity. Beta Pro by Global X offers Canada's first and longest running suite of levered and inverse levered ETFs built for sophisticated investors who understand the risks of leverage and the importance of precision. It's triple levered bull and bear ETFs tied to the NASDAQ 100 index are designed for daily tactical trades, providing amplified daily exposure and giving traders tools to engage with both upward momentum and market pullbacks. These strategies are currency hedged, seeking to offset US dollar exposure back to the Canadian dollar. For those navigating short-term market moves up or down, Beta Pro offers the flexibility to act with conviction, whatever that looks like for you and your individual strategies, objectives, and risk profile. Trade tactically and learn more about this product at betapro.ca. And let's go learn more from Sia.
Not learning more now. I'm just curious because we did talk about BE. I started a poll that's on my screen. Now, will BE have an earnings beat? They are expected to report a pretty good earnings report between roughly $531 to $558 million. Well, 1 is yes, 2 is no, and 3 is what is BE? I'm waiting for your answers. Sending it back to you.
It's a tough one. I'm going to go. No, but if it's just a beat, come on, I think they beat. Whether it goes up or down, like whether they go up or down is a different story. I'm going to say they beat. Yeah, you're talking about beat expectations, man. Like there's one way to vote for that almost every single time. It almost doesn't matter what you're talking about.
It's 84% of the reported companies that beat.
I was going to say, Neil, it doesn't matter whatever you're talking about. I think it does matter if you're talking about the name you've recently called SMC-izzle, because I think you're more likely to win than not if you say they're not going to beat. Though, again, I know they're trying to turn themselves around, but, we got to be real here.
Well, SMCI belongs in its own category, okay? That's, yeah.
Well, it's not like there's any controversy around it.
Well, some companies don't get the benefit of the doubt. SMCI would be one of them. But that's an easy one. We just had a super chat from Danny Boy Fade Runner, if we can throw it up and we get the funny music that goes with it. Ching ching. Danny Boy, I've decided to put the $50 I had left from holding 5,000 of skills overnight and lay it down on a Black Success Monday. Viva Las Vegas, gentlemen. Okay, first of all, Skills didn't have that bad of a day today. I haven't looked at, I have no idea what this was, that ridiculous, not ridiculous, but these guys got I want to say close to $500 million settlement in the lawsuit, and then there was another, it was like 420, and then there was like another 600 million that the judge would be ruling on. Obviously they need insurance because Papaya is not nearly big enough to be able to pay that one off. It didn't lose that much. How bad could it be? Unless you literally bought the top. I know it's down 34%, but it caught a bid at 7. This is an interesting one because it's not chump change. If they get a sizable piece of that settling, it's like game changing for a company this small. But like anything, Papaya is appealing, and again, Papaya is not that big. Like, you can get their assets, right? But like, what does that amount to? So there's a there for sure, but not so bad. Let's go back to the desk, I believe, with Adara.
Yeah, so first off here, we do have more comments. So we know that Iran has reportedly said they've not decided to directly engage with the U.S., but it looks like really what Pakistan's trying to do is force this engagement more or less. Seeing reports now that Pakistan is trying to get Iran to be open to a trilateral meeting with the U.S. and Pakistan during its meetings today or tomorrow. So we're going to get Pakistan trying to force Iran to come to the table with the U.S. Now, you got to wonder what happens if that does not come to pass. But either way here, seems like things are getting increasingly desperate for Pakistan, for lack of a better term. They want to end this conflict. They're apparently very willing to sit down with Pakistan and try to get them to re-engage with the United States of America. Before we send you back, speaking of the United States of America, Palantir has like so many contracts with the U.S. Oh my gosh. So because of that USDA, Department of Agriculture contract earlier this week, I got curious and I went through literally 6 years worth of Palantir news briefs on their website. I've specifically pulled out monetary contract value specified U.S. contracts that Palantir has made. Then I sorted them out by agency. Obviously, they made the most contracts here with the Army, so max contract value across all their Army contracts is a cool $1.6 billion. Next up, you've got Special Operations Command, about $500 million worth of Palantir contracts. Again, this is like the max total value these contracts could come to. You have the SSC, so Space Systems Command. You've also got smaller contracts here with some nuclear authorities and science authorities, so tons of government contracts with the U.S. for PLTR. This infographic isn't out yet, but you could expect it over the weekend. So always join us at Exit TTV Research. I have tons of content that comes out throughout the weekend. And yeah, I think given we've also heard reports that some entities are concerned about Palantir's involvement with the U.S. government, specifically certain agencies, I think it's a good time to take a look just how deeply they are involved with some of these agencies in terms of those contracts. Back to you.
How deep is your love? Yeah, so right into here, we do. Oh, yeah, that's right. I want to put this up. So there it is. We did say that someone in the chat was like, oh, you missed a super chat. Well, you don't mean to.
Oh,
so
whoops.
There it is. What's up? Andrew Alert Studio. Andrew, AI Wirt Studios? I don't know. That's an AI, right?
Andrew AI
Wirt Studios.
Yeah.
Is that right?
You got it.
All right, so what is that, RMBS?
What are your thoughts on RMBS? Been watching it since it was in the 80s, and now it's banging.
Banging.
Bang. What is it with all the parabolic charts? And like, what are the... It's always interesting. It's like, what are your thoughts on explosive-looking chart that I have a double up on? Well, first of all, like, you found this chart. You liked it. You bought the turn, or even the bottom, whatever it might be. Like, I can tell you the way I always approach things, and you know, I'm a very much like I'll show you a parabolic chart, and here's the best example I can make for something that I'm in and I made a decision on. Right, like I bought a dip in ARM, and when it got to the high, I took 20% off, like I always do, and now I'm letting it fly. And then I look at the other thing I look at, and again, I'm just looking at a similar chart and telling you effectively what I would look at. Then you look at the kind of this measured move to the bottom. It's like 180-ish to this low, which is about 95, right? So call it $85, and you throw that on the top. And if I see it get to 265 or anywhere close to it in turn, then I'm going to take a little bit more out and then look for a place to settle down and buy the dip because it's a long-term position for myself. So you have to determine, is it a long-term position for me? Was it a trade? What's my target? Like, what were you looking to get out of it? I can only look at a similar chart, in my opinion, and give you the idea of what I would do with it. Because when you have a blue sky setup, it's a great problem to have. There's a million ways you can look to hold or cover something which has gone parabolic or given you a double up. And there's almost no way you can do that and lose. I mean, you can lose if you do absolutely nothing and let it come all the way back in, but you'd imagine that's not a likely scenario. So yeah, great look. Congrats. I mean, there's not much else you can do with it. Yeah, I guess I was waiting for potential. Just wanted to see something, do something different. Like I was looking at this trend, it completely failed, so you're back underneath. Still a chance that we could get a late breakout, but it's now 315. There was new on the locator. It's only 314, but this is already 3 million shares. And it's only done 15 million shares on the day. So it's done 20%. Sorry, 20% of the day's volume is currently a sell imbalance on NU while the market's at the high. And on top of that, there's like this very distinct wall right around 1450 to 5152. So if I see that start to grow and you see NU pop in as like a short at 49, then I'm just kind of looking to sit here, see a short imbalance, and try to scalp it because it's got such a distinct HOD, which is only 3 cents from here. If you can risk 2 or 3 cents and that imbalance comes out even bigger than 3, that's what I'm going to throw up on my radar because I just don't see a lot of movement. The market's looking pretty strong, but it's a very slow, low volume grind up. Ooh, because I was asking Sean where Palantir is reporting. It's not next week because we have everything that reports.
Well, this is what I was going to get to. So we went over into Adaira's calendar here, and this is the events for next week. So we can maybe blow this thing up a little bit here. But there it is. Let's go like that, and we'll see a little bit better. So yeah, wow, what a sort of a great opportunity for next week, man. I mean, this is like the Super Bowl of earnings. We talk about that. The best thing about earnings date is it's Super Bowl 4 times a year. But yeah, so Monday, nothing going to come. We have pre-market listed here. We have SoFi in the pre-market. But yeah, what a crazy. Go here. I'll put this in the chat right here. As you guys want to look at this with me, we can do that together right now. But there it is. I mean, so many names to come through. We'll be doing an aftermarket show probably on like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It looks like. Right there. Monday, not much, right? Domino's, Verizon, pre and post Celestica, Amcor. So that'd be interesting there as well. And then we have some big consumer packaging names. We have Coca-Cola coming through in the pre-market. GM, going to hit there as well. JetBlue, we'll see what's going on. And then it starts, right, with Robinhood. I mean, a lot of people are excited for that. That'll be Tuesday night Robinhood. There's your Bloom Energy. We talked about that in the back already. That was one of your polls. Then we got Visa, Enphase coming through. Not too much on this day, but Robinhood's going to be important. I think a lot of traders looking for that. And then after Robinhood, we'll get a little taste of potentially what SoFi wants to say. I know they're completely different businesses, but we'll see what that happens. Pre-market on Wednesday, looking for some SoFi. I did get some SoFi more back into the account yesterday. I said that at $18. And then AbbVie, Lemonade, the tasty treat there, coming for you on Wednesday morning. And then boom, here it is. Adaira brought this to our attention earlier. It's not 1 or 2. It's not even 3 mega cap huge spenders and obviously part of the Mag 7. But there's the biggest and the baddest of them all right there, I believe. Anyways, we'll see what Google comes out with. I think Amazon will have the best report, but I'm looking for excitement from Google. Ford following GM should be interesting. And then on Thursday, okay, here we go, man. Wow, by the way, you're really starting to get going on Tesla. Now $1.20 in the money on the only trade I've had this afternoon. I hope you guys have had this with me. There's Caterpillar and Eli Lilly early. I'm really interested in Eli Lilly to see what they do. We talk about maybe picking some up right now. We'll hear what they have to say about their new oral weight loss drug there and what sort of some of the reports coming out. Interesting to see Apple getting kicked in the face today a little bit there, down 1.2%. We'll see if Apple can come up with something. There's Rivian Randy. He likes the name. We'll see. It'll be interesting to hear what their R2 production schedule is looking like right now for them. And then obviously on Friday, a little slower, but you still get the biggest there. Talk about $1 trillion name. We have Exxon coming through there on pre-market on Friday. So, and Estee Lauder just had a couple buyouts there, or they bought some, I forget who it was, but there's Estee Lauder coming there. So I think it's going to be a super, here's Tesla. Super exciting look. I'm just going to punch some out there at 61s. I'll take a little bit more out on Tesla. I'm actually at I mean, the next offer I had was basically high, 377.20. So I was hoping to get a breakout right there back through. But we were shorting Tesla on VWAP. Once it broke, we went long, and we've just been supporting this long. You know, not really worth it for me to sit there and fight any kind of trends on that. So we'll just play Tesla long. And there's the dip buy right there. There goes Tesla upside. So let's go Tesla. And we'll see if we can get that going here a little higher. But yeah, there it goes, man. Next week is going to be wild.
It's also what it just means for the market, man.
Yeah, it means a lot.
Like you see, like the hyperscale. Well,
Nasdaq's at highs.
Tesla with that 25 bill capex spend. I think that also gave the boost to the chips, right? So I think if you just continue to see that ridiculous growth in capex, that'll be huge. That's going to be absolutely huge for the chip names because they're going to need that momentum. If there's any hiccup there, there's been so much parabolic movement. Like for as good as like Novo's been, let's just say, or AMD and NVIDIA, I really do feel I don't think there's going to be a pullback, but if there is any kind of a warning sign from those hyperscalers on Wednesday, then you're going to have to watch out for some of these. Oh, there it goes. I was going to be like, why is there a gap and it just filled in the ridiculous earnings day that had? No, this would be a name that would be under concern. You've got to watch out for the hyperscalers. I was just looking at that IPO. So remember I said like that new has that early look imbalance. There it is, it's 3 million. I just sat on the offer, got filled. XE's trying to go. I don't love the volume, but it's trying to get off the schneid. I just want something with a good R&R. And a sneaky little double bottom here at 27. I haven't had a good look at it, but if there's enough size down there, oftentimes you'll get like a round number that'll just get defended. And when I say they, generally talking about market makers and underwriters, right? It's been an unsuccessful IPO. Well, successful if you got the issue price, but it's been unsuccessful. And there seems to be a support at that even dollar at 27. Just want to give it a chance. Like it's already broken. Like if I do this, like it's already broken any kind of reasonable uptrend, and it's consolidating. So if I can sit in this consolidation, just take a quick little shot at it. The other thing I'm going to adjust to is there's no. I always hold these silly things until you get the opening print, and if it does this move again, I'm no longer just holding it until it decides to break that channel. Like that's kind of silly, because you can get out there, and then if it holds, get back in again. Even when we're only talking about a few percentage points, it's just silly to give it back. Like I'm thinking about if this was SpaceX, would I have actually held on? Because I gave up a third of my gains on that trail. And if this was SpaceX, I'm not doing that. When SpaceX comes out, if it's the same thing, and I see it break the trend in VWAP like that, I'm just gonna exit assuming it's gonna take out the low. And then if it holds the low, I'll just try to get back in again. Because I don't want, if SpaceX does that, I feel like we're gonna be trading probably a little bit heavier, and it's gonna be a more crowded trade, and the slippage could get nastier. They could really game that one.
Nastier, I like that one.
Well, everything about SpaceX is going to be regular IPO on drugs. I don't know enough.
Well, I mean, I think a good example is this one went from $23 expected. It came out at $30.11. So that rate there is already a bump of like 25%.
Yeah.
So, if SpaceX is expected, let's just use a number, $100, and it comes out at 120, 130, 140, which I think it's going to come out way more than that, then yeah, you could see some big selling. There's so much private money in SpaceX right now. They're looking for exit liquidity, and will that exit liquidity be you? That's the question that we all have to ask right there. You out of here, Sia? Yeah. Okay. Oh. Have a great weekend.
Good luck on the exam.
She's got an exam there. The reason why we're here is to make a little bit of... So let's go over and look at, we sit on a prop floor, and we always talk about this. There's no point in sitting here on a prop floor if you're not going to throw some money around. And we're going to go to see our top profitable traders here at Real Trading. This is yesterday's numbers. And again, we don't have the other side of it, but these are all the winning top 10 traders, and they're not huge. I mean, this is yesterday's numbers. Again, these are the markets that were traded, and it's nothing sexy here as they're all look like the same markets. And I'll scroll down a little bit.
AMEX.
This is all in USDs.
Same thing last week, AMEX,
Yeah, so there it goes, man. AMEX is all over the place, and NASDAQ. I know, I saw that about Ford. I actually called Ford stock up there, and I didn't see much going on. But it looks like top dog yesterday, 22 grand. It looks like everybody's trying to either trade USO silver, AMEX name SPY, something like that. This trader, of course, is
SOX as well.
SOXL, yeah, all that kind of stuff. And then 4 grand. So it's not like a monster day or anything like that yesterday. These are some of the markets that we do have. Like someone in the Paris market there made 1,500, Hong Kong 1,800. As you can see, OTC markets, someone did 2,400 there as well. So that's what's making the money in and around here these days. All right, so 277. Good outs for us. Let's see if it can go higher, man. I mean, that's what we're looking for. We want this name to get going a little bit. I don't have any other offers now until 277 quarters, like we said, which is just a break of this high into these levels that we had seen earlier for Tesla. So we can get something into here. That's 277 quarter there. So we'll see if we can get out of the way of that trade. Hopefully we will be able to. And it'll print us. So we'll see if we can get that trade going. Right now, so that's what I'm looking forward to, and then that's the only trade that I have on right now. And I mean, you got 2 on, so including.
Well, new is just this. It's got to look at it.
Yeah, and then you were in VMNR. I don't know what that's doing anymore. IBIT 7750. Nothing going on there. And then the name that I really liked earlier today was Netflix. It's just hitting some scanners here as we try to break a little bit higher on Netflix. But this $93 level has been something. Here is the 50-period moving average. Sorry, the 200-period moving average on a 5-minute chart. It's been sloping down, so maybe potential short in and around 93 as we haven't broken above it since we took it at 1140. So that could be something there. But here we go, man. We are now a little bit of moon right now. You know, again, this name trying to go, all right, you know what? I was at 377.20. I'm just going to put that offer, punch it out. Ooh, we just went to 05s there. We didn't get filled, so of course that's not good. But we'll wait a little bit lower now. It just went to 20s and we didn't get filled. So hopefully one more blast up. We're waiting at 05. We'll take another piece out here on Tesla. But there it goes right now, just over $1.50 now in the money on TSLA, and we'll just wait to see if we get printed there. Just see, we just missed it. Oh man, that's too bad. We just, I'll punch out a little bit more. We only have a half hour left. Those imbalances will come out. Don't necessarily want to be involved in those. Could always go the other way, but I don't think this swipes down that far against us, but we'll wait to see what happens with Tesla there. We had to punch out some at 70s there. We'll wait to see if we get O's again there on TSLA. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye here on USO. A little bit of a pop here. Al Haddath reporting that Pakistan is going to be working with the foreign minister of Iran during the coming hours to first solve the Strait of Hormuz crisis before they solve anything else. So not sure why oil is moving up on this because it sounds like they want to get the issue resolved. But if they get any more details, I'll keep you posted. Like I said, a lot of headlines are coming out here that the market's reacting to, even though there are very few distinctions between these stories. Back to you.
Thanks, Adara. I'm with you. Like, that sounds like it would be good, but yeah, USO did pop higher through the volume weighted average price. Doesn't seem to be affecting, I don't know, it's not affecting, it's maybe slightly affecting the Qs, but it wasn't affecting like the XLE. Did a bit of an indecision candle, but it still broke the consolidation, so jumped in on the consolidation, give it to this little support at the quarter mark. Again, I'm not gonna give it to that even dollar. The way I see it is if one of these IPOs has that even dollar level, I'd rather get out before it tests that because the slippage will be nasty. Whereas if I get out here, I'm going to get slipped a couple of cents because it's in the inside part of the range. And then we already talked about that NU. NVIDIA is on a bit of a churn. Oh, shoot, my charts have been doing this. But I've looked at NVIDIA today. Most of the issues, if I went to a chart that I haven't looked at on the day, and then it would take forever. All right, now that's happening. Thank you very much. It's only mine today. All right, well, NVIDIA is pulling back a little bit from a prior high, but trust me, it didn't halt. That's just my chart being a bit of a punk. So you're getting a little bit of a dip on that, I guess, USO move. So I'm just gonna try to scalp the first half out into 28. And I'm not thinking VWAP, a little bit too weak for that. Look at the body in here on XE was about 28 quarter into this 28.75. Like that'll be the ultimate target. Like just push into where the support was after it flushed, and then try to get a bit of a scalp trade on that bad boy. And then NU, if it grows, I would add to this. But the imbalance, it's now been 30 minutes, and the imbalance is exactly what it was. Like it was 3.3 30 minutes ago. It's 3.3 to sell now. The idea sometimes is you want to see 3.3 turn into 4, turn into 5, and then by the time you get to 350, maybe you've got, like 10 million or something. But the fact that it's stagnant indicates to me you might want to be out. You want to be out of this thing by the time the imbalance is kind of, because then it'll probably show up at 350 as half of this, and then you really want to get out of Dodge. We'll see.
I mean, first day IPO. This might have been worth trading off $27 there. We had a nice little runner today, MXL. Oops, wrong chart. MXL, we had that one going there again, max linear. Kind of went linear early there, just all the way to the upside. And now it's trying to hold VWAP, which has been doing a great job of there today. So here's VWAP. There's reasons why we look at this. It was part of the Tesla idea that I have. And there it is right now with MXL trying to hold fort here. So a good little opportunity today for MXL, and that's CHSN. This was another name, Chansun International Holdings, either French or Chinese, I guess. Not doing too much, but this one down 93%. It was halting all over the place. We have a new halter here. What's SMX? Another one just halted, reopened. A couple halts here, 4 halts in a row. SMX dancing around here again. Started the day up at 9:30 there, at 9:30, up at 350, all the way back down to $2. A couple halts back and forth here, looking to go lower on SMX. And if you sort of zoom out, there must have been some splits here or something. But there's a nice, well, yeah. Look, our charts are showing $500 right there as the high, right back in now into $1. So SMX not doing great there.
Security matters. Why is it down? Why is it doing that? Like,
I don't know.
There's no news on it.
There's
no news on it.
I thought I remember this name, Security Matters.
It sounds familiar, but there's the latest news was on Tuesday. So it was featured on a story of recycle, whatever. That's not the reason it's doing anything today.
Well, here it is. I mean, this is a chart from 23.
That is, what the?
So what was that other one called again?
There's a few.
The car one.
Mullen?
Mullen. Oh, yeah, Mullen. Yeah.
They renamed themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So that's whatever they named themselves. Yeah. But this one here, Security Matters. I mean, this is going to be a chart that goes all the way back, as I just showed you.
29 billion?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many zeros this is, but that was what the idea was there. So now it's all the way down, and after all of the splits, and it split 1 to 75. There it split 2 to 57. I don't know how that happens. It split 10 to 41 there. 1 to 7 again. A big split again, about almost 10 to 1 there. Another split of 1. How many times are you allowed to split? I mean, no wonder why this price is where it is. But there it goes, man. SMX just all over the place.
There need to be better rules.
Absolute disaster for that one. And
don't you think there should be more stringent rules regarding?
My guess is there are. We just don't know them.
Yeah, it could be that. But I feel like there's so many names that just abuse that.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why they keep doing that is because you want to stay above $1 for compliance reasons.
But you should only be able to do that some certain number of times, and the exchange should be like, forget you. Just a quick update on XE. Now that it's broken back through the 28 level and it's worked into that low, I'm trailing it through the even dollar. If it loses the even dollar, I'm going to be out of it. So break there, scalp to 28, scalp to 28 quarter, and then we're looking for 28, like 60 or so, like kind of into that body. But I'm not letting it get back underneath the 28 level. It's been so incredibly weak, which is surprising to me. I really thought because this was a nuclear name, it was going to have a much better fate on day one. But you take what you can get. Like it's worked twice now for a long when the stock has been a short the entirety of its life, per se. But you know what? You know what was actually working against this? SMR. Like look at SMR the last 2 days as we have another small modular reactor name coming in as an IPO. And unfortunately, you have these guys coming on the back end of it. Like maybe if there had been a bit more strength, then XE would have done a little bit better. That said, you could have looked at SMR chart and favored the shorts. Here, our locates on this, day one, shout out to Real Trading, 3 cents per share to short an IPO on day one. Like to me, that's a huge advantage at Real Trading. And then here you have a downward trend when the sector was down. Low-hanging fruit, but whatever, went long anyways.
I mean, here's an example of a name. I mean, this is why I don't know why Security Matters just doesn't go down into the pink sheets. It's, of course, Spirit.
Spirit
Spirit Aviation. So they get the call last couple of days that Donald Trump will be here. He comes to save the day as the U.S. government is willing to pay. 0.2 right there, 20 cents on Spirit. Basically, that was, quite clear bottom there around 16 or 17 cents. These names, obviously, that go down into the pink sheets, it can survive a long time down there. We've seen Luck and Coffee. There's been many, many names. DD's another one. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. They're all down there. So 10 cents, some of the ADRs going. But there goes Fly QQ, as this could be another name that someone's looking at. So there goes nice upside play there for sure. So something to take consideration if you're looking and saying, oh, you're stuck on a name or it gets down into the pink sheets. Just watch out for some levels. There can still be some decent money to be made down there. And there goes Fly. I didn't trade it at all today, but good volume, good liquidity. If I zoom this out, these are all the prints in the last minute and a half. So definitely some volume going through. As you say, a big shout out to our good friend Jeff Mendel, who I don't know, next time he's here will be on. So yeah, it's been a minute since he's been on. So we'll see what's going on there with Fly QQ, but another good name coming through. The story of the day started with Intel. We can try to end it with Intel a little. Wow, yeah, Tesla. Now Tesla $1.70 and starting to go as well right now. But there goes Tesla. Big movement now. We get that price. Okay, 377.15s. We get that. We told you we sort of repriced it there. So there it goes. Nice move there for TSLA back there to the upside. We could just hold now, man. I mean, let's see if this market finally wants to go. We took it off the 200 period moving average. We were going, look at these shorts. That's $3 there, so on and so forth and so on and so forth, until eventually the move looks like it wants to go higher. We break through view up. We then switch up our game plan into the short, and we see if we can get some luck going
someone asked
through.
This before. Someone asked you this before, but I didn't want to interrupt. But they asked again. And it was like, why are you not trading TSLL instead? I know we get that question a lot, but it's worth an answer because we're on a prop desk and not retail.
It's worth an answer if I had one. I don't really have one.
Well, TSLL, retail likes TSLL because it's $12. Right? So therefore, if you don't have a ton of buying power, then absolutely, you probably would want to trade TSLL. If you have more buying power, the chart will look exactly the same, although I suppose if you ever see an arbitrage opportunity that the algos don't take up in a couple of seconds, you can take advantage of that. I just had to flip stocks. I'm trying to flip stocks.
Got straight cash, homie.
But no, the charts are exactly the same, so it just has to do with your BP more than anything else. On a prop desk, you're going to have more buying power than you would usually relative to retail, and that's pretty much it. Like sometimes I think the reverse ones can be interesting if you don't have access to
Tesla. What
like
the
if you
hell?
can't short, then fair enough. That's one thing that you can definitely look at. If you can't short, then the reverse ETFs are good. But if it's just straight up,
I mean, I could switch over. It's not a big deal for me. I just,
same thing.
Looking at Tesla, we were trading it like at $100. I was trading at $300 or $400. Just comfortable with the way it moves. And I just, for the Qs, I've always traded TQQs, so it's not. I don't really look at it. I know it's triple levered, but I just sort of, because of the price, $62, just means it moves a little quicker. Today we went short, didn't work out. Well, it worked out there, and then we gave it back when we went short into there again. But yeah, something similar. I think it was a good call. We can go over to TS. I mean, I have no problem using the shares on this name. So, I'm pretty comfortable trading it. Like the stock, some of the price levels are more stuck in my head, but I think TSLL, we could definitely switch it over. I know Joe likes to do it. I have, obviously have more buying power than Joe. I mean, we've been here a little longer and so on and so forth. So, but I do like this move, and I think that I can switch over to TSLL maybe. I mean, it looks very, very similar, right, to Tesla. So it will follow it. It'll be good to go. TSLL, potentially we'll trade that for maybe you guys on Monday. I don't mind switching it up at all. So we can do that if you guys so like. But yeah, that's what we're on right now, TSLA, and we'll just see where it goes. What's up, Notorious Dingleberg over there? We appreciate all that. Robinhood's coming on Tuesday morning or Tuesday night? Tuesday night, that's what it was. It was the morning. The following morning is SoFi. So there's Robinhood. A little bit of a pullback, but still up that 1%. We really like that stock there. Great base. It still has Could have gone lower, but I think it was matching a level in and around here. Yeah, not really. I mean, maybe this little high there, 65 bucks. So we do come in and bounce nicely there off Robinhood. So something to consider there as we look out for this name coming next week. A pullback into 65. I think if they don't have the greatest quarter, which I'm not sure they're going to have a good quarter. I think they could actually have a pretty bad quarter. I think coming back into 65, 66 bucks could be something there for Robinhood. So watch out for that kind of a play coming in for Hood. And I just know crypto trading will be way down for the quarter, and that was a big driver for them.
I think the PDT for them is...
PT could be great. I mean, they could get a great conference call for them as they expect, hopefully, some better calls moving forward. And then there's SoFi. I bought SoFi yesterday at 18 bucks flat. I told you that this morning. And although it's at 18.50 now, whatever, I want to be in this one for the long term. So we'll see if SoFi wants to bounce a little bit there. This is in and around the areas where we started to get that talk from Citron going short there, calling it, I think it was the Enron of the financials or something like that. And that seems to be a little overblown, but it does get down into 15. So I am well aware that this...
Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Ignore that. So I was going to say, it was not Citron. I believe it was Muddy Waters.
Oh, yeah.
With that short report, calling it Enron for SoFi.
What new background?
What new background?
Pardon?
Oh, is there a new background there? Oh, Fabian's telling us, is that... Oh,
yeah,
there we go.
New. I was noticing that too. It looks like we're like in a video game. But yeah, so that is the deal there. That was who was short SoFi. But we'll have to find out if it's SoFi, SoFly on Tuesday, I believe, when it reports, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I actually really do like that.
Fabian, that looks great.
I really do like that background over there. I know, does it still change with the time? Of
yeah, we had because it was doing like it in the morning. You see the sunrise, and obviously we don't get to see it. I'm
going to take out just so you guys know, man. We're now $1 and $2 in the money, so we're happy to do that right now. Take out a little bit more there on Tesla. I said we're waiting for this thing to moon. I think it's already done that a little bit. There's $2. I mean, we would like it to go higher, but Tesla only up that 1% there today as we sit right back in the seat and hopefully put on some decent trades there on Tesla today. Too many trades, obviously, too many outs, but it was just slowly grinding it up. You guys take it out as you wish. We are just $2 in the money, and what we do have is 25% left. That's it. Thank you, easy peasy. Welcome back, Sean, the ultimate trader. Well, thank you. I don't know if that's true, but there it is, $3.19, 0.2%. Wow, you had yourself quite the big day.
Easy peasy's had a good week.
Easy peasy. Yeah, congrats, easy peasy. Yeah. It's Adara with some news we heard.
I do have news. IHRT, this one looks like it's actually halted to the upside here. Big spike after reportedly being ready to hold talks about a merger with SiriusXM. So IHRT looking to merge with SiriusXM. I'll pull up SIRI here. Yeah, this one also spiking around. So iHeartMedia, SIRI reportedly could be merging. Also, seeing more reports here out of the Middle East, guys. I know there's a lot, but trying to keep you guys informed. Seeing reports from a source called Al Mayadeen, I'm guessing out of the Middle East here, saying that Iran says they've proven there's a major gap in decision-making levels within the U.S. and Israel. So, again, just really showing that they're not necessarily ready to come to the table as of yet. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara. Well, I got out when I went $1, and now it's more. But the plan of action was pretty clear. It was going to be break this channel here, scalp to there, take some out there, and play it to this lower high. And it did do a XC, the new IPO, did do a topping tail candle. So it may have been, I'd argue that this stock has been a short most of its life, but a good trend break. I think if it's going to be tradable next week, which volume-wise, you never really know, maybe the second day is going to be good. At least closing, I think holding the 29 would be key. Much better if it can get back above 30 and hold that, because it would still be under the open price. Yeah, you know what? Forget about it. Holding over 29 is not going to be that big of a deal for the stock. I would chalk this one up as a failed IPO, even though it's up 26%, and it gave you a couple of bounce plays. But overall, now that it's 342, got that one. I knew this would probably be the best stock today, but it could have been traded better. That's the one thing I'm getting at. I paid for the locates, and I didn't use them. If you short it, you make more money than if you went long. Still only 3.4 on NU, and it's disappointing because it came out to sell, kind of drifted into VWAP. It hasn't grown. This doesn't look like it's worth reloading. So I'll probably end up just going back to see if I see an opportunity on that XC. I'm thinking potential, like if it reverses off VWAP, maybe look for a little bit of a short, because it's moving now. Like the stock has gone, like it just bounced like $2 off the lows
Nice.
in the last 30 seconds or so. Yeah, but I'm overall feeling bearish about this thing today. I know I've only been long, but I paid for the low case, and if it fails under that prior high, and there's like one last day flush to trade, you don't have to worry about imbalances 99 times out of 100 with an IPO. There's only ever once that I've seen an IPO show up on the end of day imbalance locator in its first week. I believe Rivian did it on one of the first days of the week. I've never once seen an IPO. So it's, like I don't care. Like if it bounces off of VWAP and it's 349, usually I wouldn't take a trade at 349. But in this case, I just wouldn't, it wouldn't matter to me. But let's see it get into VWAP, maybe put a reversal in and look for a short. I'm annoyed that we saw how weak SMR was and I didn't think to short this at any point today. Like SMR told you. I'd even tried the SMR bounce long here at 12.30. But not the time, the dollar amount. It's back under 12 bucks. This is a failed, well, it's not failed yet. It's looking like a failed break of the 50 period on SMR because it's losing it today. It's not failed until it gets under like 1160, but I'll slap the fail. I'm slapping the early fail on this move up for SMR. It looked like it was making a bottom, but maybe the bottom isn't in.
Yeah, good catch there on XE. There's always more than one trade. I mean, I know we talked about, the idea behind
short these things.
The imbalance or the IPO open trade, but yeah, that looks like a good move on the way back, and the short was pretty sweet on that one as well. NVIDIA, just bounces off that 200 period moving average. We had mentioned that as a possible look there for the short, so something to think about there for NVDA as it was trying to bounce, and looks like it did bounce back over to 209. That's $2 away or $3 away from all-time high. So we'll see where that one winds up closing. NVIDIA, as we had mentioned again, that we are getting closer and closer to sort of these imbalances, but with earnings, NVIDIA is always late. It's more about next week. We'll hear, like, if CapEx slows, then yeah, man, we're gonna have a problem. And I think that that's pretty obvious to say. So we'll just wait to see if Google, Meta, and the rest of them, their Amazon continues to sort of pump money NVIDIA's way. If not, I think the one that's going to suffer the most might be AMD there, but we'll wait, just because AMD has really gone, the word I'm looking for is parabolic to the upside. AMD, just what a move, man. $200 all the way up to $350. Just a crazy, crazy move there for AMD. All right, in INTC, again, just to see what's going on there. Another name that's going to be potentially in for a rough ride if there's downside push. Next week, Intel's just been going off as well. Taiwan Semi, another name to look out for into next week's earnings. I am least concerned, I think, about Amazon. I think Amazon really got rugged last quarter, and we talked about that move. Could easily happen again. I mean, we were last time we were at 245, went all the way down to 200. So if we have something similar, then you're back in here into 220, 225, which is great because that looks like a great buying opportunity there for Amazon down near those levels as well. So stuff coming through there next week. I'm really excited for Amazon. I'm excited for SoFi as well.
What did you do?
IHRT is now halted.
Oh, okay.
Right there. Oh, there's a problem going on over there. iHeart.
My mic.
Is iHeartRadio? Is that what
I think it's iHeart Media now.
Oh, iHeart Media. Okay.
I thought it was iHeart Radio.
Yeah, that means it's just called that, but same thing there. As we get it, Adara brought us this story, by the way, when it was sort of moving around, and we had talked about there was Sirius Satellite Radio, right? So potential merger rumor there. So if you took that on her report, hopefully you're nicely now in the money on this trade, and we'll see where it opens up. But I don't know if it's going to reopen. Generally speaking, in and around this time, they'll hold it to 4. But we'll wait to see if it comes through now. iHeart that stock if you're in it, that is for sure. All right, a little bit of an offer here. I'm going to just punch some out at 80 there on Tesla as we turn back around. 15% left on this guy.
Yeah, so the first short of the day on this XE, it's kind of the same thing as before. Like it turned at 29, so I'm in at the 3/4, like 74, it doesn't really matter. And then I'll give it to the even dollar and try to get out every 25 cents. But it's actually stronger than you would think, because that's a pretty good topping tail candle. And it already came down, and then the buyer stepped right back in at the $0.50, and I wasn't sitting there. So I am sitting there now. I kind of felt like you could flush through. I don't know much about this iHeart, but Siri if Sirius is doing this, what was that?
That was my phone. I was like, huh?
Oh, I was like, that was so weird. Oh, that's right, my bad. If Sirius gets too badly beaten up on this, I'll say Sirius.
That doesn't matter to me.
If Sirius gets too badly beaten up on this, sometimes you can pick up the acquirer at like a value, because that's a breakout chart on this. Like, look at how clean, it's rounded bottom, yada, yada, yada. And then you got this like 24, 25. And sometimes you will see pressure get put on an acquirer, them being the bigger one, right? And then look at this split top on Sirius. If it could take out that high, that'd be spicy. But again, there's no official, it's not like there's an official deal or anything, like who even knows? You make the assumption that it would be, they'd use stock to dilute a little bit. We have Dave with the super chat. Not sure if beverages would get through customs due to Canada label rules. I have 100 shares. I may be able to ship to one of you individually to try, but the live review may be gray area. Email back. Sorry, don't apologize. Like, hey man, you wanted to send us something. We appreciate it. It's not. This is not the end of the world. If we don't get to, we don't have to sample this beyond. I don't remember what it's called. The protein drink. What was it called?
Yeah, there was a story that one day we're like, if you guys can get it, we'll try it, and then.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, and there's no need
thank you for trying at least, and we can.
God forbid Canada would make things easy when it comes to anything, right? Like we are the red tape country.
All right, now we have only 30 seconds to go, so we're going to watch out for that, and we're going to see what goes on here. We're just moments away from this all updating, so we've just been getting out of some Teslas, so we'll see where it goes. Actually, I have to make sure I don't need to buy any more of this. I'm going to switch the sell right now to, let's just go a break of the 200 period as we're just seconds away now. 375. I mean, I don't necessarily want to put this out right away. Let's do it anyways. We'll just make sure we make some kind of profit. 375.50. There it is. Wow, it must have been upside. So nice move there as Tesla goes boom. So we take a little bit out there as it is now out. So we can have a quick look. SoFi with a buy. So that's at 1850. Now gets a buy as well. That's starting to go. Google with a bid. Oh, PAC B I clicked on by accident. There goes Google, 345. That's taking out day's high as well. Right now, you guys can screen cap this if you want, if you're watching. Intel, a little bit of a bid. But yeah, Tesla just went upside. So there it goes. $2, take another piece out right there as it went sort of ham. We got 377.30s as we're getting closer and closer to being out of this trade for TSLA. Well spotted there on the imbalance locator. I don't see it, but the move was there. And there's your SMR. We talked a little bit about that. Interesting to see there is nothing on the new IPO today.
There's pins.
But SMR today down. Oh, it doesn't even show what SMR is down today. SMR.ny.ny.
What the heck?
Uh-oh. Let me see if I click on that one more time.
Try it again.
Yeah, no, it's still, every time I click on it from here, it's not working.
That's probably a bug in the ether. Mine's fine.
Oh, there. I mean, if I change it like this, now it will work. No. Yeah. Anyways, all right. There's SMR on the imbalance locator today.
Yeah, that's probably just a bug.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's a bug, not a feature.
Well, yeah, I would.
Oh boy.
Okay. They're going to ask you to replicate it. It doesn't really make a difference.
I can replicate.
I think there was a small buy imbalance on this thing. So in that moment, okay, I forgot that I had a stop in. So I actually punched out at the same moment that my stop went. But we always say, if you actually accidentally get into position, just get right out. I hit offer enter. Obviously, the long reverse would have worked, but it's not about that. It's about understanding that if I didn't mean to be into like in a reversal, then I'm not going to hold on to it. But it is going. That NU ended up coming out as expected. It did not grow, and it's not reacting. So literally, you get auto-filled on the bid. So I just jumped out. That's a nothing burger. The idea is you don't want it, if everybody can see it's 3 million, you don't want it to come out as 3 million, you want it to come out as 5 million, you want it to come out as 10 million, something along those lines would have been a heck of a lot more interesting for sure. But if we can just admire for a moment, because we only have 7 minutes to go, I don't see anything on the locator I like. Then I remembered when I look at a stock that I haven't, so I was trying not to flip this chart as often. There we go. AMD, Intel, Broadcom to a certain extent, Marvell, ARM, these have gone meme crazy for the last one. To steal a word from Sean. Yeah. You're up 70% on AMD, not on the year, on the month. On the month. you're up 70%.
Get your money in the market.
On ARM, on the month, you are up, what is this, $100, so call that, I don't know, like 70-something% as well. What's Marvell? I don't know if you can tell me off the top of your head.
Well, it's up 99% since I picked it.
So, but I just want from the beginning of the month.
On the month.
April 1st, 87. It did double, but because it's pulled back today, let's call it 90%. I made that up. It did double, but it's pulled back a little bit. These are ridiculous parabolic moves, insane parabolic moves. The idea that we're not going to see some back end on them, to me, defies a little bit of logic. And I feel like you've already seen a little bit of that with Intel today. Because Intel, for most of the day, has been sell the news, trend down. Still don't. There's something I was saying a lot last week, which was just because you're up on the stock, it doesn't mean you traded it well. Because it was like 3 days last week where I looked at the end of the day, I looked at what my best stock was, and it was a reversion long on an all-day short. It's like, well, okay, well, that kind of worked, but the stock was an all-day short. I came in looking short on Intel today. I started short on Intel today, took one trend break into VWAP, and then stopped shorting it. And it ends up being a short all day on Intel. Sometimes profit taking is the way to go, but you always just look to get a little bit better. Oh, and remember that iHeart, that's not going to open because it's halted this late. It might open after the bell, but this might also be news related. Did we confirm that it wasn't just halted for news?
Well, I mean, Adair brought that series story.
It is. Yeah, it is just limit.
I don't know what does seriousness.
If you are in it halted 15 minutes ago, but it'll likely open up at 4 o'clock. That's the way the rules work. If it doesn't open before 3:50, once you're in the last 10 minutes, the open becomes the closing print, unless they're holding it for some other reason. Like if it was an information request by the NASDAQ or if it was a news halt, which I don't see it. I see it as a volatility halt when I looked it up. This will be interesting next week. Because I think if Sirius got beat up enough, that's an interesting buy on the daily chart. And because they're only selling this off because the presumption that it would be expensive or the presumption they would dilute to pay for it.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they're serious about that offer or not. Okay, so there it is. Yeah. There it is right there. Nice little last second spike there on Tesla with 5% left now. Putting orders right at these levels, easy day for me. That's what we're looking for. So hopefully, we don't suffer the fate of not having orders out. And so that's what we do right now. I mean, I'm just waiting to see if we can get a 378 here, but now we can sort of switch our stop order because nothing's hitting. If it breaks there, 376.50, we'll just take that dollar out of it, 376.49. I would just put this in. If it breaks it, we stop out. Hands off the keys, and we'll just wait to see what's going on right now. But yeah, it's the end of the week, so hopefully everybody does have a good weekend. Just a little quick look. I know Sia I have to talk to her because her recap was fine, but it was crazy. She had couldn't see anything into here. But she just had the whole S&P 500, right? So you gotta really kind of zoom in there. But today, this is the interesting name for me, honestly. I mean, there's a lot of interesting plays today and names that went hard and didn't go hard, but Apple being down in what was a big market today. So interesting to hear what that story is for Apple and what was going on there. So we'll have to wait to see if Apple does something on Monday. I want to buy dips on that name. Their report's coming on Thursday. I really like Apple. I think that's going to be a good, is it Wednesday?
No, it's Thursday, but it's second last report under Tim Cook, I think. Because we're going to get this report, then we're going to get the report.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's why it's down.
My brain has just shut off. We're going to get the report in July, early August, and then after that, he's gone. So we're not going to be Tim Cookin for much longer. It's going to be time for Turnus, and I don't even have a good pun for him yet.
He doesn't have his iconic. It's like Jobs
think of some stuff.
and Cook, and then Turnus. I mean, I don't know.
Well, let's hopefully he can turn his stock around.
But turn his stock, it's a great stock. I don't want. I don't want.
Every time it's down, we could say that.
Yeah, every time it's down, we can say that. But I just stay the course, man. Don't muck it up. It's a good ship to be able to lead, right? Like you're in a great spot. All you have to do. It's like if you're like in football, coaches matter a lot. You're drawing up X's and O's. In basketball, you're drawing up X's and O's. In hockey, the line changes, all the management. In baseball, your manager just needs to not be bad. Like a good team just needs somebody.
Oh, I need a good bullpen. I mean,
you don't control it as much as you do in other sports. So if you have a really good team, it's usually more important that you just make the easy right calls. I feel like that's the position that Turnus is going to be in here.
The thing is, these guys are not, like he's been part of the team for a while. They've been groomed in there.
It was a non-controversial pick.
Yeah, exactly. Good way of putting it. Right there. No controversy there. So we'll just wait to see what winds up happening with Apple and company moving forward. And that's probably why it's down. And here's a look at the stock. It's not, look, man, sure, it's down. But this is what Apple's been doing. It's basically moments away, I really do feel, from this kind of an all-time high. So if we get dip buy opportunities again on Apple, I think we should do that, especially heading into what could happen next week with some of those mega cap names again. We are getting close to stopping out of Tesla, but again, 5% left. We had 15%, took out 10% right there, 5% each of those. Now we wait to see one more push back down in. And yes, eerie pages. Friday as a day trader is the worst days because when you're hot and you're going on one, you always want to continue to trade. But it's good to spend a little bit of time away from the markets as well. And we'll see everybody back here on Monday, bright and early at 8 a.m. as we get ready for just an absolute monster week. You know, it's going to be an absolutely huge week on next week. We already go to TTV Research. You can find out everything you need to know there. As Adara will be posting up earnings expectations and cool infographics.
And posts all weekend, guys. We have posts all weekend. You don't have to go without market content. And usually it's like lighter stuff. So even if you do want to break, it's not going to be anything too crazy. It'll always be stuff relevant for either the prior week or the week ahead.
Yeah, if it's raining and you're bored, like what should I do? You just curl up, read a good article, prepare yourself for next week, which is going to be a monster. It'll be busy for us. 3 out of the 5 days we get to do the aftermarket show like we did. We had a full one this week, and then we had that the 10 minutes of intel. But next week it'll be huge. Let's ring that closing bell for the final time. An unreal day for the markets today.
Yeah, up another 2%. I mean, Nasdaq will close at all-time highs. Everything's sort of starting to bump a little bit forward. It's great to come back. Glad to see everybody still here and kicking. Thanks for all the attendance today. It was a good one. Their highest viewership of the week. So we want to say thank you to that one there today, which is kind of strange for a Friday, but we like it. We did it.
Well, with the SOX S doing what it did, then not a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, Nasdaq up 2%, right? So IHRT there. I thought it would have been lowest there because I'm back, but there's IHRT. So there it goes, man. Halting at 450, opening up at 550, and starting to go a little higher right now, IHRT. So there we go. We're getting ready to rock and roll there with that one. SMX, another crazy mover. We'll check these all out on Monday. So thank you so much to everybody again. Thanks to Adara for all the news. Thanks to Sia, Tiffany, Andre, Fabian there, Ramin as well, Brendo, Sharif, and Joe all out of here. Start their weekend early.
Around, but
yeah, well, Joe, probably a
put
tired
it work
guy.
this week.
I'm surprised I'm not exhausted.
Well, I got a treat for you. You guys are going to see Joe on Monday.
Okay, great.
Well, I know I have a couple appointments. I was going to do them sometime next week, but I was able to get it done on Monday.
Ooh,
I don't want to miss the earnings.
Get it over on Monday, yeah.
Well, because there's no big earnings on Monday and Friday.
Nice, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm like, if I can.
Ooh, so I'll get to host with Joe?
Joey Options will be back.
Okay, on your seat.
Joey Shivers as well, we like to call him.
Is he really cold all the time?
He's always cold in here. I know I'm always like rubbing my hands, but he gets a little chilly.
All right, well, we'll see myself and Joe there. All right, have a good weekend. Good luck with everything. And we will see everybody there on Monday. See you at 5? See you at 8 a.m.
You can show up
on
5
Monday. You can show up at 5
Nobody's going to be here, but
Mike Peter Wright will be talking to himself. See you guys.
Truth, actually.